where the fun begins.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What's going on, everyone? Sean's gonna be like ready to like jump
I'm
ship.
taking that. I'm gonna delete that beginning.
I was doing this backstage.
It's like,
That
oh
was
boy.
rough.
I think
rough.
Janine and JT were ready to like jump ship after.
They're like,
We're
what
like,
kind of
what?
show are we on? I'm out
Right.
here, man.
Is this a cult or what? This is Sitcast, right? Well, anyways,
Oh my
welcome
gosh.
back to another episode of the Sithcast podcast, a Star Wars podcast where we pretty much talk anything and everything Star Wars. I'm one of your hosts, PJ the Paradox Nerd, as alongside my co-host Sean Solo, aka
What up?
Echo Base Collectibles, and we got two, not one, but two special guests tonight. What's that like that saying? What's that crazy? No, anyway, it was like some infomercial. I forgot what it was, but anyway, we got
ShamWow.
ShamWow. You don't get one, look at two.
But wait, there's more.
But there's more.
He'll be saying wow every time.
Yeah. By the way, I bought that ShamWow. It was
I
a
just
sham
aged
more than
myself,
a wow.
right?
Right? I had a bunch of those. I got like the big
JT's
pack.
probably like, dude, what fucking thing are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm young, but I still know the old.
You know ShamWow?
You know
Yeah.
ShamWow? Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I bought it. Yes, I was a sucker that bought it.
Yep.
And it didn't do anything. It was just like a cloth that just dried up stuff.
Big yellow cloth.
Yes,
Because they said batteries not included. You didn't put batteries in it, so
I know.
There
It's
you
just
go.
like but yeah, guys, we got two special guests tonight. We got first we're gonna introduce Jedi Niner, aka Janine from Rogue 5 Cantina.
Hello,
Finally, so
Great.
glad to have you on the show.
I'm happy to be here finally.
Yes, I know we've been trying to make this happen for
Right?
quite some time. And thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to hop on the show and talk Star Wars with us.
Happy to be here.
And another person that's been supporting us from the get-go for a long, actually not for the get-go, for a long time. And finally, we were able to make this happen as well. We got JT Lovecraft. JT, thank you for
What
hopping
up?
on this.
How we doing?
So-
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we'll start off with Janine. We'll
Yes.
get to know her first, get to know like where we can reach out to her in terms of social media. So Janine is part of the Rogue 5 Cantina crew. They stream
That's
every
right.
Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Amazing show. That's one thing, with these Star Wars shows. I know, there's quite a bit. We have Spice Runners Lounge every Friday night. We do have on Saturday the Collection Wars. So it's cool. Like you get to, watch different shows every day of the week. And
That's right.
it's cool Sunday night where everyone's relaxing, get to sit down and watch some Star Wars talk. So please check her out
Thank
every
you.
Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time in
Mhm.
Rogue 5 Cantina. But yeah, Janine, let's get to know you first.
Yes.
We like to ask all our guests this: top 3 Star Wars movies of all time.
Top 3 are the original trilogy for me. I was born
Okay.
in 1969. I'm going to be 55 in a couple weeks.
You
So I
win.
was the perfect age when they came out, So original trilogy all the way. As far as order, I kind of go back and forth. I would love to say I love all 3 equally.
Mhm.
Lately, I'm more Return. Or
Okay.
I've always answered Empire as number 1.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not really sure, but yeah, Empire, A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi, or as I always said, Star Wars, because that's what I
Mhm.
call it, Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
There was a long time before there were others out, so
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So another question that we like to ask is
Mhm.
also top 3. Actually, no. Before we go, top 3
Okay.
again. Dark side or light side?
Dark Side.
Oh,
Have
that deserves.
He
this.
loves
you
to hear
seen
that.
my staircase
Yes.
on my
So
Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah, I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
awesome. Okay, another question. Top 3 Star Wars characters of all time.
So, as far as like collecting, Gamorrean Guard, Greedo, and Vader. That's probably what I have the
Okay,
most
okay,
of,
collecting wise. Okay.
collecting wise. Character wise, I really love C3PO, Vader, and
Mhm.
Princess Leia. It sounds so cliche because I'm a girl, but I love Princess Leia.
No, yeah, who doesn't, you know? And
Right.
that's awesome. Well, the thing too is that is very unique in terms of characters on their top 3 is C3PO.
Yes.
I don't hear a lot of that. Usually we get the Lukes, the
Right.
Anakins, the Vaders, the
Yeah.
Bobas, but that's
It's
cool
the
that C3
humor part for me. I love the humor part.
Mhm.
I love the sarcasm. It's just it's not, just what he looks like and what he does. It's what comes out of his mouth. It's a whole bunch of things. So I like him a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just last question before we move on to JT.
Don't make it
Um, so collecting wise, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I see. Like, what are the type of collectibles that you collect?
So I have quite a weird collection, actually. So Scott was always the collector. And
Mhm,
so it was his collection, but obviously living in the same house,
mhm.
But what happened was during the pandemic, he was looking for AT-ATs and he was trying to find them anywhere, and you couldn't go out. You couldn't, go to our little shows or thrift shops, nothing like that. So I was on Macari looking, and I found Princess Leia that I had when I was a little girl, and she's over here next to me in the cabinet. And I saw her, and I'm like, Scott, you should get this for your collection too. And it's like, I could probably get her. She's not bad, but she's definitely not a hot toy. So it says Princess Leia.
Oh,
And like
nice.
her
Nice.
hair comes off and you can brush it, and she's like super fancy in my world. So I suggested to Scott that he buy her for his collection, and he's like, hell no.
Uh,
So that's the first Star Wars thing that I bought. And then it kind of went from there. I like all the vintage toys. I love the Star Wars collector series, those big, like campy looking things. I think I have behind me the stormtroopers that you can see with my Barbies. Those are those big, awful looking stormtroopers that are Luke and Han in disguise.
Mhm.
And they're so awful that I absolutely love them. So that's the stuff that
I had all those. I think I had all
I have
those. Yeah.
so many. And then I did that Millennium Falcon that was Scott's when he was a kid. His parents came home with it. It was a shell. It was missing everything. And for his 50th birthday, I think, which was about 4 years ago, I completely like went rogue. I was like hiding him on Facebook, asking people where I could get parts, stickers, and like all these people were awesome. They totally reached out to me, hooked me up. I got an original Han for him, everything. So I put that whole thing together for his birthday, surprised him. And then I was kind of like, I want to do another one because I had all these extra parts. So I found another Falcon, and I found the stickers the other day. I bought the stickers for it. I was going to do the same thing, make it look like his, And then I had this idea last year. Instead of doing that, I was going to do a repaint. And so I completely like tore it up, filled it with paper, sprayed it, and completely repainted it. And so now I shop in a different way. I'm looking for things that are destroyed that I can, not feel guilty about, and just like spray paint them, completely redo them. And that's where my collecting is. Scott obviously has hooked me up with some hot toys, Evan, Joel, like all those guys' birthdays. And I have bought a few of my own. So, and then I think the biggest thing that I collect, I love all the Legends in 3D from General.
Oh,
Lee.
yeah.
So
I started collecting those this year.
yeah, I probably between the smaller ones and the bigger ones, and I have more of the bigger ones, I maybe have 30, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And then of
Wow.
course I have the Gamorrean Guard and Salacious on pre-order, so I can't wait for them to come.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask
going to
you.
be nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, and do you ever go to Scott's collection and go, you know what? That's mine. And you just
No,
our collection.
a couple
No,
of times because like I picked up a couple of hot toys from Sean Scruffy Stone and
Mhm.
his neighbor Sean, who's his friend. And I'm like, oh wait, before I tell him I want this, let me go upstairs and see if we already have it and look at Scott's collection just to make sure.
Mhm.
And we do like we have some duplicates, but my collection is so quirky and different. Like I have the Jedi Mickey Mouse, that big statue thing.
Yeah.
Other
That's
things,
cool.
like
Yeah.
the vintage collection. I am totally backing the Cantina. While Scott thinks it's cool, he would never
It's
buy it.
close too.
Yeah, it's getting there. Big jump
Yeah.
last night, which
Oh,
is really
it'll pass it
Oh, yeah.
as long as it's close to it before.
Oh,
it
it's
ends.
close.
Yeah, I think it'll
yeah.
hit the 8,000 as far as, hitting all the way up to 17 or 18,000. I don't think so because we have till what? Monday, I think. It's
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
too
I think
close.
so.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And the thing too is that like I love the fact that it's husband and wife collecting,
Yes.
enjoying Star Wars together.
Yes.
And
Yep.
like my wife enjoys Star Wars, but she doesn't obviously collect or even enjoy
Right.
it as I do. She's always asking me like, "Hey, what does that mean?" I'm like, concentrating here, like, but which is
Right.
cool. But I'm glad that she loves it. But it's cool. It's a unique, not only experience, right?
Yeah.
But also a unique relationship, and that's pretty
It's
awesome.
cool. And like he always makes fun of my Batman stuff because as you can see, I have all the NECA and I have a
Mhm.
lot of the Kotobukiya Batman statues, stuff like
Mm.
that. But he loves it. As much as he makes fun
Oh,
of me
yeah.
and tells people don't egg her on with the Batman stuff, he absolutely loves it. So,
That's
whatever.
awesome. That's awesome. And like I said, and I'm so glad that you're streaming and doing a lot of YouTube
Yeah.
content. And I think hopefully you feel it from on your end, but we're embracing you
Oh, thank
in
you.
terms of your YouTube community, and then keep up the great work over in Rogue 5
Thank you.
Cantina.
Thank you. I
So-
appreciate that.
So, but yeah, let's get to JT Lovecraft. By the way, guys, JT, I must say, man, your lightsaber skills, we got to meet up. I know you're in New York. You got to show me some of your stuff here, man. And yeah, so if you guys please check out JT's, I'm going to share my screen right now. Please check out his Instagram. As you can see, he does amazing work with he's
Oh, wow.
very and I'm like, whoa, that's freaking
What?
pretty.
That thing would be like flying across the yard.
A lot of
Yeah.
the stuff I do is just for what I like. If other people like it, that's really cool too. But I really appreciate the
Absolutely.
kind words.
Yeah.
Dang.
So let's get to know you first. Besides the Instagram, where else can people reach out to you or get to check out your content?
Instagram's pretty much my main platform.
Mhm.
I have a YouTube. It's only got 2 videos on it, 40 subs. I'm not really taking that too seriously.
Yeah.
But I am a ghost in the community. You will see me floating around different people's mutual podcasts and talks and stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
around, but here you can find me more regularly. I should
More
say.
regularly. Okay, awesome. All right, so top 3 Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah, in this order, from going from favorite to down is definitely Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Yep, Revenge of the Sith, and then Return of the Jedi, and then The Phantom Menace.
Whoa, the
Okay.
Phantom Menace.
Wow.
Different list.
That's
Yeah,
and that's one thing I love about asking Sean. You will agree to this too. Is that asking people's top 3 Star Wars movies? It's so cool to see people's.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
love different takes on it too.
Yeah,
And I think the ages matter, and I find that so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
Because it gets
you were
boring
talking
when
about
everybody's like Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janine, you were talking about how you grew up with the OT and stuff, so you were in that perfect sweet spot. I grew up with the prequels and the old VHS copies.
Right.
Playing on the little tiny screen we had, watching those over. So
Oh,
I remember as a kid, I actually seen Revenge of the Sith when I was 4 in theaters. Not to date y'all, but
Oh my God.
yeah,
Wow.
back in
I already
05.
told you how old I am.
Yeah, but I only have vivid flashes. Definitely can't remember full movie, but I do remember my mom trying to cover my face when Grievous's head was exploding and Anakin was burning, and I was like peeking through her fingers, and she was like looking over at my dad like, "This isn't Star Wars. What is this?" Like, this is super graphic for a 4-year-old, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. My parents did me right and had me growing up in the right sense of mind. So I can't tell you exactly what my first introduction into that was, but yeah, just movies 1 through 6. That was my childhood. So I favor more of the prequel era. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith definitely takes the cake because I'm big into the gritty stuff. I'm a huge comic book, like old Dark Horse lover and stuff.
Oh, love it, love it.
I love those old stories, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. And the fact is, like, you know, Revenge of the Sith is my number 2. Number 1's Empire Strikes Back. But obviously, to see another fan's perspective on Star Wars and the era that you grew up in and how you got to experience Star Wars, which is pretty cool. And but at the same time, too, is that like, how did you watch the movies? Like, did you watch it from 4, 5, 6, or is episode 1 the first like experience into Star Wars for you?
I think way back in the day, my dad showed me 4, 5, 6, and then I went 1, 2, 3. But there was always the intermittence, just like jumping in between, because I love those movies so much, right? So it's hard to really pinpoint that. So.
Oh, that's awesome! Is your dad a big Star Wars fan? I'm assuming
he had. I think he was like 10 or 11 figures off of having the entire Kenner collection back in the day, and he sold it, and he's kicking himself to this day. He had like all the rare ones. He didn't have like firing Boba Fett. Like those were one of the grails even back in the day.
Yeah. Does he have regrets?
Tons. and I think when he sees me doing stuff like this and being super into Star Wars, it hurts him even more because he knows how much I'm into it. But
man, but see, that's so cool though. Like, and then your dad must be super proud to share that bond with you. You know, the fact that you love Star Wars and he loved Star Wars and he had the figures, and now you're into Star Wars as much as he was. That's such a cool relationship and experience as well.
Yeah.
All right, so top 3 Star Wars characters.
It's a very niche, like, fluctuation. It switches a lot of time, but I think consistently, I would have to say Darth Maul.
Okay, that's Sean's.
Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. That specific look, and then the third would have to be Starkiller.
Starkiller, wow, nice.
I am a huge Force Unleashed fan. I'm actually building a cosplay with my buddies who 3D print right now, and we've spent hours looking at this character. Stuff that the 501st databank doesn't even include, right? Like this.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm emailing them and being like, hey, can we update the databank? Yours truly.
Great.
Yeah, but no, Starkiller. Growing up playing the Force Unleashed as well. Yeah, that's a big.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Okay, so speaking of collecting, is there anything you collect specifically in Star Wars? Oh, actually, before we get to that, I forgot to ask you: dark side or light side?
I'm more dark side. Yeah.
Another one. Sorry, that's my dark side yell.
Yeah, that's the new dark side. Oh, it's so bad. It's like
Janine's already cringing over. She's like convulsing. What did I get myself into? But okay, cool. So collecting wise, what stuff are you collecting?
I can actually show you one of my grails because it's kind of a smaller piece. But let me see if I can bring you with me here because I'm on my laptop actually.
Oh, nice.
So, like I said, I'm big into the comic books, so you can see inside my dresser in there. You like tons of stuff.
Yeah. Wow!
Nice. A lot of those are first prints from Dark Horse. A lot of the rarer ones, so you got Republic, Legacy, and all that stuff in there. It just keeps going. And I got boxes. That's not even all of it. I still got a couple boxes to go through.
Wow.
I gotta organize it all, but yeah, I'm big into the comic books. Always fun to reread. I got a lot of the art and the making of books too. But this actually is one of my grails. And PJ, I was actually talking to you prior because I went to a convention near me, and Ray Park was supposed to go, but he got sick last minute, so I'm kind of heartbroken.
Oh, okay.
But this is actually a not screen used, because the costumes for Darth Maul that they made two of them. They made a standstill one where he's like on Tatooine with the Binocs and the probe droids, and then he made the combat one where he takes off the robe, and then he he's got the fluid samurai movement, stuff like that. But this is a production swatch of the actual clothes.
What?
The material that they used to make the costume back in the
Oh,
day.
nice.
So yeah, this is a legitimate company, Movie Reliquary. My friend Nick's got connections. I went to Celebration in London, and he snagged that for me because it's more local
that's
to
cool.
him. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
that company does so many different ones too. They do Alien. They did like the xenomorph, like blood or the skin or something like that.
That's cool.
He's got a chunk of Green Goblin's like helmet or something, a Dalek from Doctor Who. But I'm jealous of him because he's got a piece of clothes from every single member in the Senate arrest scene in Revenge of the Sith. So he's got Palpatine's red garb.
Oh wow.
He's got Mace Windu, Agent Kolar, Stacey Tin, Kit Fisto. He's got a piece of it all, and it's like, dude, that is like a super flex. But I think with Maul being consistently my favorite character, being more fleshed out in the Clone Wars and a badass in the comics, I think it's more appropriate that I just
Hell yeah.
that, because like Janine was saying, how she was describing, her upbringing, and like this was my, original Leia doll and stuff.
Great.
We have what is called the sickness. A lot of us Star Wars fans have the sickness, and you eventually end up collecting one thing, and it spirals downward into collecting more and more and more. And that's not how I wanted my comic collection to look. I originally just wanted to get like everything that references a certain character, and I'm like, oh, but I'm only 2 issues in all of this character. So I'm like, it went downhill.
Yep.
But I also collect tattoos as well.
Nice.
Drawn on by celebrities. So when I was in ICC, back when they did the Clone Wars reunion, I cried like a baby in front of them.
You were in ICCC?
Yeah. At 2021, I think it was. When they did the Clone Wars reunion.
Sean was no.
Yeah, it was.
You were there?
I didn't.
It's when they had Echo Base Network. We were in the courtyard, and we were.
Oh wow!
Partying up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that was 2021. I went 2022, 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I had James Arnold Taylor, Matt Lanter, and Ashley Eckstein traced with Sharpie, and then when I got back home, I had it tattooed. These
cool.
the Flame Breath from Spyro. I had Elijah Wood do that one, and then he drew the one ring around it for Lord of the Rings, obviously. This one is a Biohazard, which represents like zombies and stuff. Growing up watching Michael Rooker, one of my favorite actors. And then when I was in London, I had Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson do the Jedi of the Republic symbol. I was trying to get Ewan, but he had a thing where he couldn't get close to people. I was kind of, heartbroken at that. But when Hayden's such a cool guy. I'm waiting in line with my buddy. I'm like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? We talked in the photo op line. You said you do, put a white line in his head. And he's I'm like, I'll wait for all these people behind me. If you want to do it at the end of the line, I'm fine with whatever you want to do. And he's like, no. And as soon as he said no, my stomach sank. But then he's like, no, let me get you now. And he leans over the double tables, dude, to freaking do the stencil. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. But I am going to Japan. So if Ewan goes, maybe I can get lucky with that. Who knows? But I would like to try to get 3 and 3.
That's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All the tattoos I have are drawn on by celebrities, and I was going to go get Ray Park actually for the shoulder. I was going to do like a Darth Maul head print tattoo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Inspiration with that. I got the whole sketch and everything stenciled out, but until next time, it's definitely not put it under wraps. But collecting wise, the tattoos, the comic books, just general EU knowledge. I just love any excuse to talk with sweaty, Star Wars fans. Just about any nerd, deep knowledge.
Well,
and stuff. It's always good.
I could. Well, definitely not Janine, but I could speak for in terms of sweaty Star Wars fan. I'm one of them. I was definitely, you know, so if you meet me at the convention, you'd be like, what is that musty smell?
Take a shower.
PJ,
Yeah.
PJ's here. Hey, PJ, what's going on?
Yeah, and then collecting lightsabers and helmets as well. I'm actually, like I said, I'm starting my my first cosplay pretty soon.
Nice.
Here, so yeah,
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. And I think, you know, Janine, I'm not sure if you met Hayden, but I mean, I had such a great experience with Hayden. I met him twice already. And every single time he's always been, always, as much as he wants to take more time with you and he can't
Yeah.
because there's a huge line,
Right.
like in the back of him. He's always been very nice and very accommodating in terms
That's so
of like,
cool.
with things, and I'm pretty sure Sean could attest to that. So but yeah, that's awesome, guys. Like, and it's cool to hear not only how you grew up with the Star Wars, but also like how you collect and different characters that you like in the movies. So that's awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's cool. And with that being said, like how are you guys liking the more recent like Star Wars content that we've been getting? And we'll start with JT because I know you grew up with the prequels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So okay. So first off, growing up with the '03 Clone Wars, I wasn't in the comics way back when I was younger. That was a later thing. But the Tartakovsky Clone Wars also had a certain vibe to it. But they also had the same label back in the day. They had like the 4-inch figures, right?
Yep.
And everything was perfect of that era. That's when lightsabers were, you know, as a kid, you can just like flick them open like that. You just get a bin full of them.
Yeah.
Content wise, growing up with the '03 Clone Wars and transitioning into the '08 Clone Wars, it's easy to compare the two. I'm a fan of both of them. But there's certain gems that you find in new Star Wars media that just hit a certain way. If you were to ask me, what would you want created in the Disney era, Star Wars, Lucas era, whatever, what would you want created? The first thing I would say is a live action version of the Clone Wars. And
Yeah.
Episode 5 of Ahsoka had me weeping. The fact that Hayden even watched the Clone Wars to prepare for that character,
Right.
had the same cadence, seeing young Ahsoka, and then the flash between him and Vader, dude, that is like. And the show was already filmed at the time while we were at London, so he knew in his head when he was signing this exactly what he was doing. But no, there are a few gems like that that really stick out. But for the most part, a lot of it has me kind of on the fence. Like the Acolyte, I'm waiting for the entire series to come out to fully judge exactly how I feel about it, because there are things that I like about it. Yeah, two more episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are things that I like about it and things that I kind of dislike about it. But
Right.
yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How about you, Janine? What's your growing up with the OT, the prequels, and you know, some of the you watched the animated stuff as well, correct?
Yeah, definitely. But I watched it later in life because, like, a lot of, you know, when the newer stuff came out, I was in college, you know, buying my first house, all those things. And I couldn't afford to even think about going to the movies. So, you know, the dawn of the internet in the 90s, because yes, the internet did not exist until I was in my 20s, really changed a lot because, you know, things are at your fingertips. You can watch them at a moment's notice. So that's been cool, just like kind of catching up with everything. Scott was really into Mandalorian, and he worked from home starting with the pandemic, and I was at a essential worker, so I was never home. And I would come home and he'd be like, you have to watch this. And, you know, I finally caught up with that. And, you know, that brought back all the Star Wars feels. Not to say that I hadn't seen like the prequels and the sequels, you know, in the years prior, but nothing really stuck with me, although I loved Rogue One. As far as like the latest, I love Ahsoka. I thought that was great. Mandalorian, of course. I had high hopes for Boba Fett, I think like a lot of us, and just found that to be a little disappointing and silly, unfortunately. The Acolyte. So I really wanted to like The Acolyte so much. So much. but even from like the opening scene with that like Princess Bride thing that was going on with May putting, placing the challenge on them, I was like, what the hell? Like, all right, I'll get past it. That's just one bad part. And then it was like, it kept going and it kept going. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? That fight with Carrie Ann Moss was amazing. That was great. And I'm disappointed at the same time. Episode 3, I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah, it's been, I think they kind of lost me. I gave it so much. And while I think it's getting better, do I think the next 2 episodes are going to save the series? Probably not. Probably not at all.
Yeah. Which I think it's a great segue to talk about the Acolyte. And then the most recent episode, and just a fair spoiler warning. But real quick before we jump into that, we'll address the chat real quick, and then we'll get everyone's thoughts on the most recent episode of the Acolyte. We got Sharp in the house.
Hey, Sharp.
Got it. What's up?
We got Rex. We got Rex on the show. I know him and I have been talking.
Yeah.
So I know a couple times his schedule's been pretty busy, but I think we're gonna make it work in the near future. Hey, you know this. I think we know this guy.
We know this guy.
I think we know this guy. Scott Berry. What's up, Scott? Who else is here? We got Jeff's in the house. What's up, Jeff's?
Hey, Jeff.
We got Tony in the house. What's up, Tony? Shout out to Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Oh, we got the Snoke Dog himself.
Santino.
Snoke D-O-double-G. Pat's fan for life is in the house. What's up?
Hey, Ken.
What's up, Ken?
Who else is here? Flex. What's up, Flex?
Flex.
That's a fellow Rogue 5 Cantiner. Okay, I don't know how to say it. We got Darth Sauron in the house. What's up, Darth Sauron?
Hey, Darth. Formerly known as Jedi Shizzle.
Oh, wow. That's him?
Yeah, I think we made him change his name. Everyone's like, Scott.
Everyone loved that.
Everyone's like, not Chisel.
I like that
it.
name, Darth. Okay, well, I still like Darth Sauron, though.
I like them both. Yeah.
I like them both. Yes.
Yep.
Damn
okay.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Who else is here? Hugh G. What's up, Hugh?
Hey, Hugh.
What's up, you?
You got Zombie Hunter in the house. What's up, Zombie? Okay. And yeah, I think that's about it. But so just again, guys, you ever guys walk in the streets and someone's like playing a musical instrument, and then you're like, hey, they're like, hey, can you Zelle me or not Zelle me or Venmo me? We're not asking for that. We're just asking you to hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, no Venmoing here, money, but if you can, just give us a thumbs up. Just help support the channel. But yeah, cool. Yeah, so let's get into the Acolyte. We'll start off with Sean. Sean, yeah, what's your thoughts on this episode, man?
It wasn't as good as the last, but it's better than the third and fourth.
Agreed.
Like after I actually enjoyed the last episode. And, I really like Quimir. Like I think he's a really cool Sith, whatever he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a cool character. I'm not a fan of the helmet. I know a lot of people like the helmet. I think it's just the smile kind of bugs me. It's almost like out of a horror movie instead of Star Wars. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on it. But I think he's badass without the helmet. I do like him with his clothes on. I'm just going to put that out there right now. And this episode, I guess it had to happen because I got to fill in some gaps because there's this whole show's full of like gaps.
Yeah.
And then I think we all know next episode is going to be a flashback and find out what Soul did.
Yep.
Because it's weird though, because you want to love Soul, but then you're like, what did he do? Is this dude evil? But he gives you that puppy dog face, like, oh, poor me. I got to tell you about what I did. I'm like, dude, like, what did you do?
Exactly.
but this was kind of I guess we would call it a filler. Like you said, you got to fill in the blanks
Yeah,
with
for
it,
sure.
and I don't know. I don't care much for the series. It's weird though, because I liked the first 2 episodes. I didn't like 3 and 4. The last episode was good, and this was like I didn't hate it and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad the last 2 episodes has pushed me more to accept the show. Accepting it's different than like loving it or whatever. It's like
Right.
I can deal with it and not have to go out and put negativity into the world about it. I can't think.
Right.
I think because there was so much negativity going on, it's like it was wearing on me, and I was like, I can't even talk about the show. Like even when PJ and Anthony in the chat or our private chat,
Oh my
they're
gosh,
talking
that
about it.
Anthony episode.
But I don't say anything about it because I'm like, there's so much negative about it.
Mhm.
So, and I think I said last episode too. It's like the OT, Rogue One, and Revenge of the Sith. Those are like my hardcore like Star Wars movies. Like what I really enjoy. Anything new from Disney, because I was always pretty optimistic about any of these new Disney shows.
Yes.
And I was even optimistic about this. Everyone's bashing. I'm like, oh man, don't bash it till you see it. And then I'm just
Same.
like, okay. The first 2 you watched, it was nice. It was back to back.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's got potential. There's some things that were a little didn't feel like Star Wars, but I was accepting it. And then those 3 and 4 episodes really just went nuts against the lore, and that kind of bugged me. But I'm accepting of the show right now. And like I said, anything new with Disney, other than like, I'm really looking forward to Andor season 2, because I'm one of the few that liked Andor, and I think the second season is going to have more action. It's going to be more Star Wars. We've got Krennic back. So I'm actually looking forward to that one. Any other thing Disney kind of produces, like even Skeleton Crew, like I don't even have hopes for that now, because I had more hopes for this show than Skeleton Crew. And this show let me down, so I don't know about Skeleton Crew now. So like I said, I'm trying to stay in my 1970s and 80s world of like Star Wars, and anything new, I'm going to watch it, but I don't want to feel like I'm obligated to watch it. Like when it comes on, it's like, because as Star Wars fans, you're like, ooh, I can't wait. It's going to be on tonight.
It's on.
And what's bad, even it's like a bad car wreck. You can't stop watching it. You can't stop looking. It's like, you come on the show, we talk shit about it, but we got to watch it because we want to see what's going to happen. As much negativity goes out, everybody's still watching it. The majority. I know a lot of people have cut it off and everything.
Yep.
But like you said, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to, like Anthony said, a few shows ago when he went on his rant, let them do whatever they want to do. That's not my Star Wars. And if I don't like it, I don't have to watch it.
Yep.
So and like I said, this episode's a filler one. I guess out of 10, I would give this like, I don't know, a 5.
Okay.
Just because they gave us a little bit of information.
Yep.
But what sucks is they give you that little bit of information and then they leave you on a cliffhanger and you're like, seriously, I got to wait another week. Like, just throw these things all together. But Disney, that's the only way they're going to try to keep subscribers. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, cool. That's a good review. Thanks, Sean. That's
I'm not going to bed angry talking about this, so that's good.
Don't worry. I'll do it for you.
You're gonna. I know BJ's gonna do it for us.
Me and Anthony, like, Sean is right. We're in this chat, and
I don't say shit.
Sean is like quiet, and me and Anthony are like back and forth, like, "Hey, did you see this?" We're like little girls, like teenage girls, like going back and forth, gossiping and stuff. And then he hocked to it, and what the hell's going on? Like, what the? Yeah, no, but all right, cool. Thanks for the review, Sean. That's awesome review. Fair review.
What did Scott say by this? Did I like the Wonder Woman?
Read the next one. Lightsaber.
Oh, the whip. Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
That was like a little dominatrix stuff there.
You know what? I would probably be more accepting of it if it wasn't like hanging on her hilt, like supposedly being her lightsaber. If it was like some other type of whip weapon, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Mhm.
I think the fact that she pulls out and you expect it to be a lightsaber and then it's a whip. You know, it's just it's a limp lightsaber. It's like,
Right.
you need to take a
get
pill for
scared,
that
you're
lady.
like, oh my
Like,
god! And you're like,
like-
wait, wait, what? What's going on?
I
here?
know.
Should
Like, I
I
don't-
turn around and?
Yeah, right. Put the
Yeah.
helmet on. No. But no, like I don't mind the aspect of a laser whip. That's fine, but don't like pretend it's a lightsaber whip.
Right.
That makes any sense. It's like
yeah.
Mhm.
a lightsaber is a lightsaber. You wear it on your hilt. You wear it with pride. You earn it. You put it
Mm.
together, and then all of a sudden, we've got this thing that no one's ever seen ever since Star Wars existence. You've got a whip.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, it's been around, and so is the helmet and things like that. So it's just like it's kind of weird seeing it, right? Because we're so used to the lightsabers and stuff.
Yep.
Maybe the way it was introduced as well was not maybe cool
That's what I
enough
mean,
for me. It was
yeah, if
like
it
she
was-
kind of whipped like a moth, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
you know. But you know, with what's his name? Kimir, he's
Yeah.
got
Kimir,
like
yeah.
lashing guns on his back. So I'm wondering.
dude, there's no way. And if that was a lightsaber whip and it
Yeah.
hit him, it would cut him in half.
Right. You would think
Right?
like, what
Once you
kind
can
of
dial
kink is-
down the power. Yeah, right.
like
Yeah.
the little bug.
What a king!
Like I've heard people say, what if it was like Force lightning? You know what I mean? Like if it was
Oh,
lightning,
I don't
like, that would
know.
be cool. But I think it's
Yeah.
supposedly the whip because I think the whatever I forgot the character, the green girl, I forgot her name, but
Yeah,
shows you how
Yeah.
much I dive into the show. I forget
Exactly.
about the
Well,
Vanessa,
no,
character.
because they
Vanessa,
how much
Vanessa,
you're
Vanessa,
bonding with
Vanessa.
But I
her.
think she's either going to be his Sith master because I think
Oh my goodness!
I think he was
No,
her
that's
Padawan.
rough.
I think so.
I don't want it to be like, hey,
I
I'm
think
your
it
master.
is because
Oh,
he
boy.
keeps saying he told Osha like, "Oh, I've been a Jedi a long time ago,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
her species lives for a long time." And
Yeah.
I think he was her Padawan, and I think she's a little on the dark side,
Ooh, I like it.
which would be kind of cool. So we'll see.
Mm.
Yeah,
But we only
'Cause
have
I-
2 episodes.
Because I felt like she wanted to go to that planet alone, so she could cover
Yeah.
all that stuff up. Because they don't want her
Ah.
finding out about her acolyte and maybe her, possibly her. I mean,
Mhm.
theories are just out there, but
Yep.
that's kind
Okay.
of what I'm thinking. We'll see.
okay,
Mm.
cool.
Can
All
you
right,
guys hear me?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear you.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was having mic issues, man. I had to run and grab a pair of buds because I couldn't even.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
I was wondering. I was like,
Dude.
okay.
JT, it's all right. My wife tells me that every time I start talking to her. She's like, I can't hear you. I'm having mic issues. I got to go get something. I'm used to it. It's all good.
Yeah. Star Wars Addicts 88 says he has a whips card on his back, so I think Vanessa was his master.
Right? What's up, Clay?
Interesting. Okay, cool. Let's get to Janine's thoughts on this. Oh, sorry, Sean.
I was just gonna say I had a problem
Okay,
with
JT.
the whip scar issue.
Oh, okay.
Because okay, so this is some deep nerd EU legend, so strap in. So Lumia, back in the old Marvel comics, she had a lightsaber whip when she fought Luke Skywalker. But the lightsaber whip was created as a balance to go against Force users who used forbidden forms. So you wouldn't necessarily get scarred by something like that, as you would just immediately die from
Right?
something like that. It's too
Yeah,
dangerous.
you're proving Sean's point, which is actually a great
I was
point.
like, it would cut him in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at Exar Kun. Exar Kun's lightsaber can literally extend longer than a normal person's lightsaber.
That lucky
but
son
you
of a
wouldn't see
bitch.
it as like something
Well-
like a spear, you know.
I mean, we kind of saw that with the Schwartz, right? Or in
I see it.
yeah.
Schwartz is as big as mine.
You're like, you remember, it's like, you're like, oh, love that movie. Love that movie. Yeah. All right. So let's go to Janine. Let's get your thoughts on this episode.
As far as the episode went, I agree with Sean. I give it about a 5. The last 2 episodes have been so much better than the
Mhm.
first few. Whether they're good enough to kind of save the series, I'm not sure. And the reason I say that, we have 2 episodes left, and now I guess they're saying there may not be a second season.
Really?
So,
That's
They're
fine.
saying
you
that?
know, what's that?
They're saying that? That's news to me. I'm sorry. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't know.
I've heard rumors, but I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
So, like, they have a lot of ground to cover, a lot in 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
Now, if they did it to leave like a giant cliffhanger, they're fine. And if, season 2 comes to fruition and everything else, maybe they'll be fine. I just don't have a lot of confidence that they're going to tie up enough loose ends and make it interesting enough in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, especially with the next episode supposedly being a flashback, which I
Yeah.
think we're all like excited about because
Yep.
we've been curious about this since like the second episode, first
Yep.
episode.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to see the Wookiee kick some ass.
Right? Like, are we going to
Yeah.
see that? Are we going to see how he got the scars? Obviously, we plan, we think we're going to hear from Soul what happened when he's going to finally have that chat.
Mhm.
And then, the May and Osha dynamic, how that's going to resolve. And, it's just a very, very lot to cover in a very short amount of time.
Are
So I
they
don't know.
going to book a Boba Fett it? So, like on the very last episode, they're going to try to rush and throw everything in,
Right.
and then you're just like, why'd you do that?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they were kind of like, it was kind of like that. Remember with Ahsoka, like there was
yeah.
like a
Well,
lot.
they did that with most of their series, so that's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
just give us 10 episodes. We don't need 13.
Yeah.
Just give us 10 so you
Yep.
don't rush the ending and ruin it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
just remember the second to the last episode of Ahsoka, it was very lackluster, and it
Mhm.
was just I'm just like, oh my gosh, it really didn't answer a lot of questions. We have one more episode left.
Yeah.
So obviously they're gonna have another season to hopefully answer some more questions, but I feel the same way as you, Janine, with this episode, and there's 2 more left. There's a lot. So
A whole lot. And is like everyone really going to be that interested? I mean,
mhm,
it's going to take some really good writing, some really, really good acting.
Mhm.
And obviously it's a done deal right now.
yeah.
To have people care enough to come back for a second season and
Mhm.
see what happened and follow it more. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have a lot of faith. Like, I started off strong for this whole series, and then it was just one disappointment after another. And I think we're getting to the point where it's semi okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to get to the point of, wow, that was great. So
Yeah, it's almost like, okay, well, there's still time. There's still
Yeah.
more episodes to, fix this or even
yes,
like fill in the gaps. But now it's like getting down to like,
crunch time.
what's going
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
They're gonna rush it, but like I said, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
Semi okay.
So 5 out of 10, Janine?
Yeah, probably a 5.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, JT, let's get to you. What's your thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, you guys touched on a lot of good points. I don't want to ride the train necessarily, but I do think it is a 4 or a 5 for me. Like Janine said, I started off pretty strong in this series. Episode 3 lost me, then it
Yep.
slowly started to get me back up, and then I watched this episode, and I'm like, dang, with $180 million, you really can't afford a filler episode in an 8-episode series.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
like you said, it's a lot. We still don't even know exactly how the 2 twins were conceived through the Force. I know it's a big gripe topic. It's definitely
Yep.
one of my gripes I
Mhm.
have. I can go down the list of gripes too. I don't want to be sipping haterade, but this episode it was kind of boring to me. And
Yeah.
if you and this is my opinion, and if you really think about what we've seen, we're pretty much at square one at what happened at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Osha is in is in Kamir's possession, and May
Right.
is in Soul's possession, and that's it.
Yep.
Vernestra came to visit the planet and left.
Yep.
You know, it's like nothing really
Yeah.
happened besides character development, which is by all means, it's pretty good character development, nothing spectacular, but
Right.
as Sean was saying, it's acceptable. I see, as a Star Wars fan, I don't want acceptable. I want
Exactly.
blown out
Yeah.
of the water kind of Star Wars.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, agreed.
I need
Yeah, I
the character
agree.
development. It's good and all, but in this sense, I don't know. It wasn't really captivating me. And you can compare it to last week's episode too. I know they were advertising this is going to be better than Duel of the Fates. That's pretty bold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, right?
And I'm
Yeah.
super into the martial arts stuff. I mean, like, you know, you see my Instagram. I got flip around a
Right.
lightsaber. I love that stuff. But an episode solely on combat with intermittent breaking ups, like it was taking me out of the moment.
Yeah.
You go into this awesome like double shish kebab beheading move, and then it immediately cuts to Yord and Osha running through the woods. I'm like, no, go back to Chimera. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
And like in this episode, they had this character moment with Soul and May when the
Yep.
lights are off in the ship and they're talking to each other, and you can see the moment on Soul's face when he realizes, you know,
Yes.
this isn't Osha. This is a disguise. That there was a moment like that when they're sitting in the dark, and then it immediately cuts to Basil, that little
Yes.
like
Yeah,
rodent. I'm like,
Yeah.
go back to their moment. We were still learning more about that. Go back to that. It's just the breaking up the way it's edited.
Yes.
Is taking
Yes.
out of it a little bit.
I agree. I feel like if they started with last episode, so episode 1 was the last episode, and then episode 2, you know what I mean, was the last episode. The first episode was before that. And they got rid of the first 3 episodes and just kind of like, filled in some blanks from those 3 in between. That would have been a better start to it.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's
Those
just
first 3 episodes should have been junked in that editing room, and they should have just like cut in certain points that would have helped.
well, it's
Yeah.
also part of the writing too, because I mean, look, if you didn't see Khmer was going to be the stranger or the Sith
Right.
guy, come on. I mean, it was pretty
It was
much
pretty obvious.
Right.
like it's more so to the point where it's spoon fed to you because of who else could it be? Like they didn't
Right.
give a whole lot of other options. I know people were saying like Mother Coral because
Yeah.
she had a grievance against the Jedi. That would make sense.
Yep.
But like
I was thinking that.
2 options, you know? I mean, it's just a little disappointing, you know?
Right? I thought it was too obvious. That's why, like,
Yes.
even
You didn't
last
think it
few
was going to be.
episodes, I kept going, it's one of the mothers. It's got to be because
Yeah.
there's a reason why she's doing this and blah blah blah. And it was too obvious for it to be Quimir. And then when it was Quimir, I was like, oh,
Yep.
I was kind of let down. And then when the helmet came off, I was like, all right, he's
Yeah.
kind of a badass. I was like,
He was a
it's
badass.
grown on me a lot. I do like
yeah.
it.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Khmer is awesome. I think he's
Yeah.
the powerhouse of the show currently. But
He is.
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's tied to a lot of other plot holes that are not being answered.
Oh, they're
I
not going
was-
to answer.
I was there right in London when they advertised this show is going to be in the perspective of the Sith. It's going
Right.
to make Jedi look like the antagonists. We're
Yep.
6 episodes deep, and I'm yet to see any of that. The
And then you think back to
perspective
the first like 2 episodes, we'll say, and
Yeah.
you're like, why did we have to see that? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't really do anything for us.
Well,
you
they
know, they
are
could have
painting
done
the
that
Jedi
in
in a
10
bad light,
minutes.
though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And as an EU fan too, there's also like non-arguments. Like people will hate to hate. That will always
Of
happen.
course. That's always
Yeah.
happening.
Like
Yep.
the Kiadi Mundi argument, that was never a confirmed date in Legends. Wikipedia is not even 100% right because it's made by Star Wars fans
Fan-made. Yep.
anyways.
Yep.
And the whole Dathomir argument, like, oh, it's a group of just women. This
Right.
is woke Disney. Dude, they've done this on Dathomir too, right? They already had
Exactly.
an all witch tribe. These are non-arguments, but there's certain plot holes that need to be answered. And it's just kind of
Yes.
disappointing that we're so deep into the series and we're not getting those, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are great points, JT. Actually, all of you guys make great points, and that's one thing too. Is that like, it's, I get it. Like, with positivity, like that's something that like should be promoted in the community and things like that. But there should be like healthy discussions, and when I say discussions, like not everyone should agree.
Exactly.
And it's okay. It should, as long as it's respectful and catch. Oh my goodness. Okay, Scott.
That's
Um,
funny.
but
That's
the thing
funny.
too is that it should be respectful, and I think we should have like fun discussions, and because we did that in the playgrounds. Like, hey, no, I don't think Luke Skywalker is that powerful, like and things like that, right? And those should be
Yep.
fun, but at the same time too is that don't no, someone shouldn't knock someone for hey having constructive criticism on a show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're just overly positive, right? If you
Yep.
ever met an overly positive person, it's like, are you really being true to yourself and everyone else, or are you
Yeah.
just,
Yep.
and yeah, so that's a great review, JT. As for me, I was even though I gave my rant last week, but it was more so where is the story going? Right?
Yes.
Like I have for me the main characters are the twins, right? Because that's
Yeah.
what they're advertising from the very beginning of the show all the way to now. And I still don't know what the heck is going on with them. They just did like a switcheroonie,
Yes.
and that's it. Like nothing more, nothing less. It's like very bipolar. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. No, I love you. I'm not gonna kill
Right.
you. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go switch to this side. I'm gonna be killing the Jedi. No, I don't want to kill the Jedi. It's like, okay, I get it. I was hoping they would shed some more character development for those two.
Yep.
Because they are shining the light on them. But I think JT is correct. I feel like Kamir is the main spotlight on this whole
Yeah,
show. If
for
not,
sure.
I feel like he shines the best out of every character in the show.
Mhm.
I think last week's episode, the fight scenes, it's not better than Phantom Menace. So please, I feel like people need to just be quiet
Right.
and not stir controversy.
Right.
Right?
Don't
Like,
get
I
me
I've
don't-
wrong.
never seen a
it's-
lightsaber scene like it. I'm like, have you seen Phantom Menace?
Yeah,
Have you ever
don't
seen it
don't get me
before?
wrong. My buddy Charlie, he actually his friend was the stunt double for Kamir in the show.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
And yeah, dude, they did some really cool moves. Like I said, that
No, they
double
did.
shish kebab, double decap. I wanted
Yeah.
to see more of that, But
Yes.
it was like I said, it was broken up. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like the choreography, and I think we got to see like some behind the scenes on it. And I think the actor, Manny Jacinto, did a great job. And trust me, I'm
Mhm.
Filipino. I'm really happy to see Filipino representation on screen, especially as a Sith. Dark side,
Right.
awesome. And I think he's doing a great job. But again, like there's in terms of Batman, I'm only reference Batman because I see it in the background, Janine. I don't see Christopher Nolan going out and saying this is going to be the best Batman ever, better than the Michael
Yes.
Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
Because then now the expectation level has
Exactly.
just gone
That's
through
right.
the roof, and
That's
you
right.
better you're opening yourself up to a lot of criticism
Yes,
and a lot
you
of
need to
like
deliver.
yes,
Yeah,
you
let
need to
your
deliver.
movie speak for itself.
yeah, why
Exactly.
compare? Yeah,
Why
compare?
compare? Just let it speak for itself. I just think
Yep.
that before the show even came out, there was a lot of talk, right? Even with the Rey movie, I'm okay. Even though I'm like, okay, I don't know if we want a Rey movie, but at the same time too, like she's speaking out vocally about the Rey movie and all these things, and I'm like, all right, guys, like
Yeah.
let your actions speak louder than your words. Like I think a lot of movie companies do that. MCU does that, I think, and House of Dragons. But anyway, going back to the episode, okay, the only cool factor about this episode for me is Kamir was a former Jedi, right?
Right.
I love how in the beginning of the episode they're kind of teasing the lore with the millennia, because you see Solo trying to reach out to the Jedis, trying to
Right.
let them know like, hey, we found a Sith Lord, but he
Mhm.
couldn't get through. So you're like in suspense. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna break lore? And obviously he doesn't break lore, and nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Vanestra coming on the fellow Jedi's coming on the planet. You're like, okay, they might assume it's a Sith Lord. Is it gonna break lore? But they didn't. They were like, hey, it could be Saul. What the hell is he doing?
Right.
Yeah. At least they explained what cortosis was.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, that's an
And I
EU nudge.
I
yeah.
appreciated that.
I
'cause
appreciated
when it was
that, yeah.
happening. A lot of people were like, what's going, like, why is he blocking lightsabers with his helmet and his wrist guards, you know. So I was glad they explained that.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was a filler episode, but
Yep.
it did fill in some holes, not a
Mhm.
lot, but just a
Yeah.
few. So
Especially the
appreciate that.
Khmer, the
Yeah.
Khmer character development there.
Oh
That
yeah.
he used to
Yeah.
be a Jedi.
I'm not
I
a crazy I'm not a crazy sequel fan, but didn't the place that they were, that island look like
Octu.
from the
Yeah,
sequel?
but I
was
think
gonna
Leslie.
say,
Yeah.
I read it that Leslie Headland confirmed that it was that planet is not Octu. It's just a place
Not-
where you can mine cortosis.
See, that
It's-
was into one of my gripes because there's so many within recent media. There's so many instances in Star Wars where they're using a lot of environmental backgrounds that are just like Earth.
Yes.
So far is just Earth.
Yes.
They have Kel Naka in the field just like tinkering with something. It looks like my backyard, dude. The Bad Batch, it's just like, okay, cool, but they're in like this forest, right? It's just like a normal Earth-looking forest jungle. It's
Yes.
Mount Tantus. It's just like Earth, but it's one mountain. Like, come on, dude. Where's the innovation? Like in Revenge of the Sith, they had Mygeeto, Mustafar, Utapau, Felucia. These are some crazy-looking planets, man.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one thing that George always wanted was a world building, right?
Mhm.
And I think Rogue One had that, in my opinion. Like, yes, we see like shore troopers and things like that, but it was still cool to see that there were some other planets I forgot. Even like Mandalorian. Remember that whole planet that's like this, like I don't know, it was pretty cool. It was like a whole, I forgot where Heavy Mando and Mandalorian were fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that city. That was a cool planet.
Yep.
See, things like that. I agree, JT. That's a good point. I felt claustrophobic in where the Jedi's got killed. What's the name of that planet?
Kofar?
Kofar, yeah.
Well,
go far yourself. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, we
Just
got robbed because as soon as Osha wakes up from being knocked out from the Force push, a Jedi's already dead in front of her.
Yes.
Like we got the Moon Knight treatment. Like the action happens when we're asleep. Like no, dude. This is High Republic. As much of an EU fan as I am, the High Republic era I don't know too much about, but I do know that it is a very strong height of Jedi Prime power. So I want to see every single one of those Jedi put up a cool fight, even if they do get killed off. Like Ithia Pan, first time we see a Keldor species fighting, like Plo Koon, stabbed through the back. Cool, but I wanted to see more of that,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think too, like I said, I think I gave the positives of the show. I think the music is amazing. The score, please
Very
listen to the score, is very, very good.
Don't
Someone's
ask
gonna-
Scott Berry that question.
Oh, why? He doesn't like it?
No.
Oh boy. Okay, never mind, Scott.
Mm.
Scott, I'm sorry. I like it. For me, I like it. I like the cinematography, but I think the thing is like the prequels. I know it got its hate, right? I feel like with the prequels, George did too much, but the story was there. It was very consistent, and things like that.
Yeah.
With this one, I don't know what's going on.
I know.
I don't.
I
know
think they're
what's-
going
we're
out
at-
of their
we're-
way to try to be different. I really
it's
do.
it's like episode 6, and I like what JT said. He summed it up in like a couple sentences. Like it's like they switched.
Yep.
We got a little bit of background Khmer.
Yep.
Venestra came in the planet, and that's it.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. And there's 2 more episodes, so they gotta fill in a lot of holes.
They
I
do.
agree. I would have to give this like I like the Khmer aspect. I think he's the best. He's like Kylo Ren. He's like the best character in this show.
Yep.
He's very intriguing. He's cool, and there's a lot of like mysterious unknowns with him that I would like to get to know more of.
Yeah.
I was curious too, because like when he walked into that bath, it wasn't like he was going in there to bathe. They didn't have soap or anything. But when he mentioned to Osha, like, I'm, very old Jedi, basically, is what he's saying. Wonder if that's like a fountain of youth type thing.
Ooh, I wonder.
I wonder
Right?
too.
They didn't go in there to bathe.
Yeah, and the thing too is
Mhm.
that like I know people were speculating that he might be the first Ren. He's part of the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, I heard that
Uh,
too.
I heard that, and then when I saw this planet like Octu, I started tying in Kylo Ren, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this isn't
Well, not-
Octu, and I'm like, well, it looks like it.
Yeah, not only the back of his helmet shape has that same kind of Kylo Ren
Yes.
flare, but also like when he appears on screen, there's an audio cue that sounds just like Kylo Ren's theme.
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing too is that he's also like, I think Osha was asking, what do you want? He's like, I want the power of two. So I'm like thinking,
Yes.
like, is it like the rule of two? Like, is he a Sith Lord? Is he looking for another? What's going on? Like, is
he
he
says
really?
he wants an acolyte, is what he keeps saying. So he wants
Yep.
a student, but
Yeah, so he wants to like have that, like, the rule of two, right? A master
Yeah.
and an apprentice.
One to
So-
embody the power and one to crave it.
Yes. So, and that's one thing too, is that, is he a Sith Lord? Is he a Ren? I'd like to know more about him. But in terms of everything else, I think I give it like a 4.
Yeah.
The story is going nowhere for me. And even my wife was like, what's going on with this show?
Right.
And she's seeing it from like an outside perspective.
Yeah.
She's not seeing from like a hardcore Star Wars fan. She's just seeing it from that lens, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, there's nothing
Neither
happening
do
in this
we.
show. and here we are. We watch the House of Dragons right before that, which is probably like a huge mistake. Maybe I
That's
should
a
give it-
problem. Yeah, because they can't even compare.
It's like House
No.
of Dragons
Yep.
with the same budget is like,
Yes.
you're seeing dragons, you're seeing different sets, you're seeing different lands. It's like, oh my gosh, this show is
Yep.
freaking amazing. And then here you go, you watch The Acolyte with this almost the same budget, if not a
Yes.
little bit less, maybe $10 million less. And
Yep.
you're like, and I agree with JT. I don't want acceptable. I want great
no.
Star Wars count.
Exactly.
It's not acceptable to just have acceptable in Star Wars. That's
right.
the reason why I love the fact that Disney bought Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Is
For the
because
potential.
they have all the revenue, like, so all the money, all the resources to make all the EU content, like that
Yeah.
could like go back and reference a lot of things, like, which I feel like they do sometimes, like with Cortosis and things like that, the light whip. But I feel like there's so much like great stories that could have just gotten from the EU and just
Yep.
go from there.
So that's perfect way of putting it, because I feel like the Jedi Survivor video game with Cal Kestis did a
Mhm.
better job of showing me what the High Republic era is than this show so far. And that's
Mm,
Oh,
Bag and
yeah.
Gara complaining to Ravis, the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have the money to make the show and put the EU elements in there,
Yep.
but you also have to respect the elements of EU if you're going to bring them in. And of course, Disney says what it is, right? They say Ki-Adi-Mundi's age is this. That's what it is. There was no official date anyways. And if it overrides canon, so what?
Who
There's
cares,
always
right?
headcanon. They can never take away the Star Wars that's already out that you like.
That's right.
But personally, for something like the show Kenobi, it suffered greatly for that very reason, though. In my opinion, the only redeeming part of that show was the very end where
Mm-hmm.
he slices Vader's
Yeah,
mask and
agreed.
they have that
I loved
emotional
it.
chat.
Mhm.
But I don't want to pick gems out of a dirt pile, right?
Mhm.
I want that same feeling of like the prequels or the OT where it's just constantly good. Your mind's not focused on, okay, what could they do better, because they're showing you the better. They're
Mhm.
Yeah.
improving on themselves, and that's just the writing and everything. But like, going back to like they create their own canon as well, like the Cortosis. Cool. That's a very respectable thing to do, to bring in something from the EU like that,
Yeah.
but add their own twist on it too, because he even described like when putting it on, it has like the Magneto effect where it like
Yes.
blocks
Yeah.
your thoughts
Yep.
inside, but it's also like Cerebro plus Magneto's helmet, right? Because it's like a heightened awareness thing. Cool. You added your own canon to something EU that's not been described before, and just made it a little bit cooler. That doesn't ruin anything. But there are elements where you can bring in something with EU and it just completely clashes, and that's what divides up the fan base.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
You're right. You're 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Those are great points, guys.
Sure.
And again, like as Star Wars fans, it's not like we don't want to like these shows, right? Who says that? You're not a Star Wars fan. I think Sean and I, I was very excited for the show. The first 2 episodes, I think we didn't bash it. We're like, okay, it's a good start.
Yeah.
And it was, I think we rated like a 6 or 7 or something like that.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just went downhill from there. I mean, episode 5 was like a good pick me upper,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's just
that's
because of
why I
a
say
lot. Yeah,
I felt like just 3 and 4 was like, it started messing with the lore and just getting a little. I wasn't comfortable with it. It just wasn't
yeah.
Star Wars
Well,
for me.
it
But
go-
then the 5th episode was like, okay, this is cool, and now
Absolutely.
I'm actually interested a little bit.
Yes.
It goes back into the little points I was saying too, because even with how much of a banger episode 5 was, it gets butchered with the editing, and like two
Some of
two
the
moments.
dialogue.
One of them I wanted to point out was when Osha and May have that hug conversation, and then May force pushes Osha off of a 4-foot platform, and she's knocked out longer than the active Sun Blaster effect.
Yeah.
Also, this dude Kamir, super. I know you don't really care for the design of the smile, but I like it because it's adding to the intimidation. Like you don't know their emotion behind the mask. I think that's why masks are so cool in Star Wars. But the way he just like floats down, and then he takes out all those Jedi, and then he gets bested by some big bugs, dude. He's just like
That bugged me. Like, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah, it like came down, and it was kind. And the thing too is that you got this big budget. It looks like he's being like, you could almost see the
harness,
the harness
wires,
pulling
yeah.
him up. It's like,
Right.
it's like, oh man, what is going on? Again, we expect more as fans because that's just our right as consumers, as
Exactly.
fans, as
Yeah.
and hey, we'll see, and you're right, JT, and I think I should be in that mindset. Let's wait out the last 2 episodes, finish it, and then give our honest review from there. I hope it gets better. I hope they fill in the holes, but it's a lot of holes that they got to fill in. I hope this is a learning lesson for them. I hope they're just not like prideful and say, you better eat what we give you, right?
Yeah.
It should be like, hey, you know what? They didn't like it. Just like at any restaurant. Hey, the customers are not liking our food. Is there something we could change? Not like, no, they better like it or else go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's not going to happen. I think we better just kind of like it. That's how I feel.
That's not fair. I mean, that's not fair though. I mean, that's not fair. If those reviews are right, those user reviews in Rotten Tomatoes, then they're, why are they not wanting to focus on the whole fandom rather than the small percentage that does like it? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll give it more credit. Maybe the 40 or 50% of the fandom.
Yeah.
Why not just go for the whole fandom instead of
exactly?
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, thank you guys. That was pretty cool. I didn't go on my rant. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're being a good boy.
You were pushing on the edge, I could tell.
I'm pushing on
You're
the edge.
right
I was holding back. The Jedi, they're holding me back. Okay. How could you be in the council and not be a master? Okay. All right, let's talk collectibles. Yeah, why did they give him a master? GT1. I know, I'm kidding. All right, so we got some really cool stuff from Bottleneck Gallery. I think this was released like last week.
This week.
This is some
This
pretty
is
cool
so
stuff.
Dude, those are some sweet prints.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, the high ground's cool.
The high ground's cool. Anyone pick these up from Bottleneck Gallery?
Oh, I like that one too.
Me too.
Yeah,
No. What size are those?
I did not. They're
I have-
small. So I think if you buy all of them, they're like a 24 by 36 poster size.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're like 2 feet
That's
wide.
a good
and
idea,
12
though.
inches times 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Jason, J2SO, for reminding me. He was like, "Hey man, it's up." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And-
Wake up, go get them.
but that's what I love about this community. We look out for each other, and
Right.
that's awesome. And yeah, so this is cool. Yours truly just bought it.
Nice.
I was worried because I know they were selling them individually, and
Yeah.
if anything, I would have just gotten the high ground because I'm
Yeah.
a Anakin fan. But I just was like in a rush, so I just got all 3. So
Mhm.
more prints that I'm not gonna hang up. Okay, cool.
I know, right? Portfolio
Exactly,
time.
right?
Yeah, that's why I slow down buying prints.
Yeah,
I have to do the same. I just don't have the room anymore. I'd have to
Yeah.
get rid of things, you know.
yeah. How about you, JT? I mean, yeah, JT. What your thoughts on this prints?
This is the first time seeing it. I'm loving it.
Oh, beautiful, right?
I got the Lucas Arts like licensed lithographs from the Phantom Menace, like the
Oh,
actual
nice.
Doug Chang
Nice.
concept arts too. So yeah, dude, these are sweet. I can visualize like the audio through the scene right now. It's getting some emotion behind that. So
Yeah.
those are all super
And even
cool.
Genosha. Yeah, Genosha. Yeah, these are cool.
Movie against the Jedi.
Yeah, really cool.
Also, I do want to talk about the helmet, and mind you, I did not know it was brown.
Right. That's what I kept telling everyone. They're like, why are they selling it brown? I'm like, we haven't seen it in the daylight. And there's probably
So
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah, the lighting
muted
is
copper,
weird.
right?
Yeah.
So
But that's
these,
like really copper. Really.
yeah, and we
It looked like that in that one scene when OSHA picked it up, though. It looked really
Yeah.
copper then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, did you see the Darth Vader reference when she put it on? She started breathing
Yes.
heavily. I'm like, okay, OSHA.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That
all
was
right,
the cringe
relax,
moment.
relax. You're not Vader.
You're
Sorry.
not.
What but how do you see out of that thing to fight?
Right?
Yeah.
You could
Like,
tell
she
she
puts it
couldn't
on,
see
and I'm like,
anything.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like how? Yeah. Have you guys seen? Hugh G says, have you guys seen the Dylan Bonner Padme print? I just got it and it's
Ooh, I have
beautiful.
not.
Not. No.
No.
Yeah. I'm so upset I missed out on these. Star Wars Attic 88. Obi P. Kranobi says, I want to know what Khmer meant when Saul asked why he hides his face. And I forget exactly what Khmer
Oh,
said,
yeah.
but it was like, what about you?
Mm-hmm.
So
He's got a connection to Soul, 100%.
yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
there's
connection to
something there.
Soul. And I don't know. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so these went up for pre-order. Did anyone pick these up?
No,
Prognosis
but my
negative.
buddy Tony, who was in the chat earlier, Star Wars Sith, I think it was Millennium Workshop that
Yeah,
You
you
got
got
one
one from
from
Rex.
Yeah.
the blacked out version is way cooler.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree. Rex's came out amazing.
Yeah, Rex, I saw yeah, and like I said, I would love to get him on the show.
Heck yeah.
His is awesome and he
Yes.
does amazing work. And we're gonna get a lot of cosplayers this year.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Think so?
because I feel like it's an easy costume, right? It's just the helmet. He's got that little like robe. Obviously, you gotta have to work out a little bit to show some like
They gotta be ripped.
biceps, but I think it's a pretty easy cosplay. I mean, JT, I know you're going to be cosplaying soon as a Star Killer. Do you think this is an easy costume to kind of put together?
Yeah, so like that robe that you said, it's pretty much just like an overlaying poncho because in the fight he loses it about halfway through, like toss it to the side,
Yes.
and then he's wearing like the traditional like Japanese style. It
Mhm.
almost looks like a Japanese tank top the way the
Yeah,
fabric
almost like a
lace like
samurai.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, I think it's $100. I think from it's a Black Series helmet.
Yeah, it was
So-
$99, I think. I wonder how many
much?
they had that it was $99. And
Yeah.
last I looked, and I haven't checked today, I think the pre-order sold out.
It's sold out.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'll look again, see if they added any more.
Wow, that's
But yeah, it was sold out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Even if the show is not to what people's standards would be, I could see Kamir still being somebody's favorite character in Star Wars. That's
Exactly.
new to Star
He's
Wars.
He's a cool
Yep.
character.
Yeah, and that's $100 for that helmet. Pretty good steal, because custom helmets can get kind of up there. I know from firsthand experience, but shoot, that's only just like a color shade off. You can personalize it yourself and make it look more accurate. That's a pretty good price. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's I would cosplay as him, just because it's such an easy
With the shirt on or off.
No, Sean, I wasn't talking about the actual outfit. I was talking about him in the scene, the pool scene,
In the sauna.
in the
Polynesian
sauna.
spa.
At the
Oh my
spa.
That's what I was
gosh.
saying. That's what I was saying was the easy cosplay. It's like you come out, you're like, and then I get tackled by security. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Swinging.
Hey, what are you talking about? I'm Kamir from the
Swear, I'm Kamir.
Don't you recognize
Kamir
me?
from that scene, man.
Look at the scar on my back.
So you need to
Great.
leave. All right, so we're gonna
Yeah.
indecent. Yeah, we're gonna arrest you for indecent exposure here. Okay, so here is the cantina. This is on their I guess Instagram or Facebook Shorts page. So they're showing you how they were painting it, some behind the scenes stuff. I know it comes with like stickers now. So I'm not sure if you guys could see it. I can't zoom in on this, but pretty cool, like how they were, making this little
Yeah.
set.
Absolutely.
It's sweet, man. I just don't know where I'll put it. I'll just probably,
That's the issue.
yeah. Oh, I mean, who's backing this up? Anybody here?
7,000 people.
Right?
Yeah.
But not me. Yeah. I would. I
Um,
mean, it's cool, but I don't collect that size figures, and it's kind of like a little big.
Yeah.
It's cool
It
though.
is.
Like I heard someone say, "Oh, you can make like a cool coffee table with it." I think that would be a cool idea.
Oh, you know who's
Like,
getting this?
Put down some real sand around it and kind of
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I think it would be cool.
Yep. Yep.
Look at that. That's so cool.
And it's modular, so you can move it around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be this big long thing. You can, change it to fit your size or your space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Look
have
at
like
that.
3 different spots that I'm considering.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, you know who's getting this is Tom Spina.
Is he?
Yeah,
Is Tom
He's
getting
only
it?
getting the deluxe
yeah,
one.
he backed it. Yeah, he said he backed it.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's a big Cantina guy, right? A lot of his
Yes.
things that he created for his company, it comes from this comes from the Cantina. So pretty cool.
Absolutely.
JT, would you back something like this up or not really? Or
Yeah, I'm when I was younger, I was big into the figures. I would be negotiating with my parents. I'd be like, you go to Walmart or Toys R Us and you'd see the plethora of different figures. And she's like,
Right.
all right, you can only have one. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So many good ones. I don't really do the Lego Star Wars or the 4-inch figures anymore.
Mhm.
I'm kind of saving myself when it comes to that kind of rabbit hole. But I think if I
Yeah.
were to jump into anything like that, it would probably be Sideshow, just with how many bangers they've been coming out with recently with like the
Well, can I say what a great segue there,
Right?
Mr.
Uh-oh,
JT?
do they have a bad one?
No. It's a great segue, meaning like this is what my next thing I was gonna
Ooh.
put up here to talk about, which is
Ooh, that's from the Marvel comics, yeah.
yeah, this is that was the original Obi-Wan Kenobi mythos statue, which is 1/5 scale. It's sold out. It's actually worth a pretty penny now. So they decided to redo it in a bigger version, a more updated version, which is the premium format. And here it is. And
Yeah.
this is some behind the scenes here. And by the way, this is not just me just showing you guys to show you guys. This is me trying to convince Sean to get this piece.
I know, right? It's good piece. It really
Yeah.
It
So
is. It looks great.
You get the Alec Guinness and you did get the Ewan McGregor portrait. Yeah, Janine, would you get something like this in your collection, or is Obi-Wan a character?
I would get it, but like I always say to myself, like first of all, I don't have the room.
Okay.
Second of all, but if someone gave it to me, I wouldn't be like, no, thank you.
I don't think anyone
Um,
would
wait,
turn
wait, wait,
anything
wait.
down.
Hold.
No, thanks.
I
Like,
think.
of
Hold
course,
on.
it's awesome.
Okay, hold on. You know where I'm looking at? Okay, there he is. Sorry, Scott, but listen, I think there's a hint there for maybe a birthday, Christmas, anniversary,
Do you hear him yelling in the background?
he's okay. He's actually there.
He's in the kitchen.
He's in the, he's in the kitchen.
I mean, I think it's awesome. It's not a bad price considering what it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it looks great.
I know. Is he still there?
Yep.
Wink, wink. Hopefully, someone gifts this to you. But anyway,
Right.
JT. I know you don't collect statues, correct?
I
Is this
don't.
is this something you would consider though?
Not yet.
If I was into statues, probably yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
awesome.
Because that Alec Guinness sculpt, that looks really clean.
Yeah.
It looks just like him. But yeah, dude, Sideshow, Gentle Giant, those are some hefty prices they got on some figures. Well worth it, but just not where I'm at right now.
Okay.
All right, PJ, if you had to pick the mace or this, you can only have one.
Oh man, I always loved that Mythos OB, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I missed out on the first one, right? And it's worth a lot of money now. I would pick this just because I missed out on the first one. It's just that I don't want to miss out on the second one. And that Alec Guinness, man.
Yeah.
See, that's my jam there.
Dude, that Alec Guinness is just like that
They
portrait.
nailed the eyes.
Yeah. And it goes along with the other Mythos stuff. It's I would say it's definitely an improvement from the old one. I mean, yeah, the portrait looks, but the old one has a special place in a lot of people's heart. And I know, Janine, you collect the figures. Do you have the Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I don't.
Okay.
Wait, is that a different Ewan head? I think they have two Ewan heads they give you.
No.
You get the Alec Guinness head
on the left one.
Yes. It comes with, I think, a different heads, but this
that one's different.
Yeah.
It's got longer hair.
Yeah. So, and what's cool about this piece is that it's kind of canon because we kind of saw him wearing this outfit in the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't want to see him cutting like space whale meat up into chunks. I wanted to see him lugging around a cycler rifle and a gaffy stick, man. In the comic books, he fights Black Chrysanthemum, that big Wookiee.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah, so I think I'm definitely getting. I'm wondering if they're gonna like keep it in that scale. Well, the new Mythos stuff. So
yeah, I wonder.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Janine gave us like a nice little heads up in the Rogue 5 Cantina Facebook group that so what's the update on these? I know you were able to snag one for a pretty good price.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. It was like what?
I did not snag it. They canceled my order.
What?
So they accidentally put this up on Gentle Giant for a penny one day. And I got the email, I got the text. I don't remember which one I clicked like right away. And it's like, check out the new releases. So I start clicking through and I saw this and I'm like, a penny. So I added it to the cart. It came to like $17.50 shipped.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And like I posted about it in my First Sister Finds group and I think the Rogue 5. And like Jonathan Bartlett was like, I got one too. And so we were just kind of like sitting there like, are they really going to send it to us? And it took them like maybe 3 or 4 hours. And they messaged me and said, well, unfortunately, we have to cancel your order, but we're giving you like 200 rewards points or something. So, yeah, that would have been cool, though.
Well,
like,
really cool. That would have been cool. Did you cancel you canceled your pre-order? Or
they canceled it. And they're like, use these 200 points to, reorder, and I just haven't done it yet.
It sounds like an airliner. Like you booked a flight for somewhere, and they're like, "Sorry, we
exactly.
Sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah. like I wonder how many people actually did that. You know, like they made the error. They're the ones that sent out both an email and a text. They put it on blast.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit like I get it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but one thing I like about Gentle Giants, they come out with different price points for different cool
They do.
products.
They do. I love
Yeah.
their products. Like I was saying that day, I'm like, I hope they
Mhm.
do send it to me. I've got like probably like 50 to 75 Gentle Giant products in my house, you know, like
Yeah.
all their stuff. This is my reward. Nope.
Well, 200 points. How many is that? Like $20 or?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it's a good amount of in terms of rewards points and redeeming
Yeah.
it. Hopefully it's a good amount of dollar amount. Yeah. So this is the mini bus Wampa that they are doing, which is pretty cool.
Yep,
One thing I love about them is that they do a lot of really cool creatures.
they do. And they do a good
aliens.
job with them. They really do.
They do.
Mhm.
JT, you say you collect a lot of Gentle Giant stuff too, right?
No, I'm not into the big figure realm.
Oh,
But I had a
gotcha.
question though. Are General Giant the one that released the I think it's a 6 scale. It's a sand trooper on a dewback.
No,
No,
that's
that's
Hot
Hot
Toys.
Toys. Hot
That's
Toys.
Hot Toys.
that show?
Yep.
Okay, I thought that was this. I was gonna be like, yeah, because that's like my favorite General Giant thing I think that they released. But
We
it's
had
not.
that on pre-order. Or should
Yeah.
I say Scott does?
Ooh. Oh,
I have the blurred.
I love how is that we have it on pre-order.
I
I
know.
like it. I love it. I love it. So here's the other Legends in 3D bust that they're making, which is the Captain Rex.
Yep.
I guess this is the version 2. Maybe there was a version 1 I didn't know about, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys are collecting. Sean, are you gonna pick this up or?
No, I think because I've got the Gamorrean Guard and the Emperor Legends in 3D coming.
Yeah.
I've
Is
kind
it
of sold off most of my clone troopers and stuff because I'm trying to keep it more OT. And,
Yes.
and I sprinkle in like a few characters that I like Mando, like
Mhm.
Yep.
like the Durasteel Mando's the figure that
Yep.
I have
Yep.
because it's like the very first episode. I like that armor the best.
Yeah.
It's just because it's just rugged and dirty. It's cool.
Can I show
But
you
I
guys
do-
something real quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
Man, grab it.
So I'm big into helmet collecting,
Mhm.
but there is one bust that I do have, and it's a 1-to-1.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
It's a,
What?
it's a pretty
I hope she's good looking.
big one.
Yeah, I do have that Rex helmet right there from Hasbro.
Yeah, I got it for Scott for his birthday. I was pleasantly surprised
You
I
because
know-
want to get that Clone Trooper helmet from
awesome.
Disney. I
Yeah.
I bought it to flip pancakes, and then I opened it and I was like, "Oh yeah, that
Ooh.
thing's cool."
Whoa, where did you get that, dude?
Is that the
So
Disney one?
this is from a guy named Robert who does the Wicked Armor website.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Wow.
I
That's
know
who I
him.
got my Starkiller helmet from. But when he did this at the time, this
Yeah.
was a preliminary stage to trying to see how the sculpt would be. So he
Yeah.
made 3 of them. He made one for himself, one for his friend, and then I bought the third one, which was a commission. There's more of them out there. There are more people have bought ones from him, and they actually do the full costume where
wow.
they gotta plug that back in. But they do the full costume where it's actually mounted onto that, and then the person would actually sit inside of the cape and walk around like they're Grievous. So you
wow.
probably see
That's-
pictures like that online. But no, dude, Galaxy's Edge has a Grievous bust, and it's got nothing.
yeah,
on
yeah.
it. Like
Oh,
you
that's
can
awesome.
see the goop in his eyes, and every
Oh,
single damage
dude.
mark is like roto scanned from the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, you can't have that hiding in your closet. The
Great.
thing's too
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, you gotta keep that out, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
The
Yeah, if
paint
you're gonna
even-
have one, that's a good one to have.
Yeah, the paint even looks like bone too. It looks just like the movie. It's so he did such a good job on it. But I gotta find a way to better store a bust like that because
You
it's
do.
it's a big one.
Yeah, actually,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that thing's sweet.
So, really quick on the Wicked Armor. So, I remember when Force Awakens was about to release, and I was like, I really want to cosplay as Kylo Ren, because at the time we were seeing a lot of like trailers for it, and I'm like, man, there's no one doing the helmet. I got like the outfit. I was able to put that outfit together. I just needed the helmet. Then I came across Wicked Armor's website.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like the perfect one because obviously he was getting it from like pictures and he was trying to like 3D scan, but it worked. And let me turn off my camera. That's the outfit. This is the outfit.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
That's my so. And it was crazy though when I cosplay as Kylo. At that time, because I guess because of the shootings in the movie theaters, remember so I couldn't wear my helmet inside the movie theater. I could wear it outside, but then I wanted to take a picture inside someone was like, hey, let me take a picture of you. I was like, I can't wear it, guys. I said, forget it. I put it on real quick.
Yeah.
And then like they took a picture and then the cops came and they were like, hey, you need to take off the helmet. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What am I gonna do? Like I have
right.
a
like 10 seconds. Just give me 10 seconds for a photo up.
Yeah. So since because it's such a big deal, there's a lot of media coverage. Just to give it like a little story on that. I was being interviewed by a newspaper company, like a company, and they were like, "Hey, can we get your name? Hey, my name is PJ. I think I was 35, 34 at the time. I'm 34, 35, and I'm a big Star Wars fan." I said, "Are you going to print this?" He said, "No. I just need your name as a reference. Don't worry, we won't."
Reference.
Guys, they put out my name, my company at the time that I worked for. They're like, "Is this you?" I'm like, and I like to keep like the business and the pleasure side of things like separated. And my boss is like, "Is this you?" I'm like, "No, that must be some other like
brother.
That must be some other guy that looks like me." But
my twin brother JP.
Yeah, JP. Yeah. Also, just one last thing in terms of Gentle Giant. There wasn't a lot of releases this week, but Salacious Crumb. Anyone picking this one?
I am. I saw it at Comic-Con last year.
Wow.
I have to have it.
Oh, that is cool.
I pre-ordered that. Everything I saw at Comic-Con from them was amazing.
Yes.
So no brainer. Didn't hesitate. I pre-ordered this the second it came out. I've got hopefully I live long enough for it to come out.
Of course, it will come out soon,
right?
I'm sure.
But I did not hesitate for even a second. I know everybody is like jumping on that other one that just came out. But this one for me is perfect for my space and for my collection. So
awesome.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. But I think that's basically it. And speaking of Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con is around the corner. Hopefully we get to see some really cool things. I know there's some really cool
the mall thing. I just picked up that at the Great Prop Swap, the mall on the speeder bike for like $10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks just like the one I got. And like I went upstairs because I have it in our bedroom actually on display. And I'm like, the piece is badass considering it was, Power of the Force or whatever it is. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think unfortunately Sideshow is not going to be. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what do I hear, Sean?
Oh, I'm getting this. That's some messed up shit you just did.
Right?
That's celebration.
Yeah,
man.
right over a Luke Skywalker Red 5. He throws in that acolyte laugh. That's blasphemy.
So we saw renders of this I think last year, right? I think they showed this. We're most likely going to get that type of statue because obviously all the other renders came to fruition.
Yep.
From Rex to Mace to Mythos Obi. So it's only fair to say that it's going to look like the renders. And I think this is probably going to be revealed during their Sideshow Con.
When's that coming?
It's probably the same time as San Diego Comic-Con, probably towards the end of the month. They're not going to be in San Diego Comic-Con. I don't think they're going.
Probably not.
which is a shame because honestly, I think that like what Janine mentioned earlier when she went to San Diego last year,
Yep.
she saw those really cool three Legends in 3D busts
Yep.
in person.
Yep.
Oh, what the heck is that? In person, and yeah, it sold her. So I
Mhm.
think they're missing a lot of that because it's one thing to see it in person and another thing to see it online.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It just makes me wonder why they're not doing it because you see so many companies there, so many brands. And what is that guy's name? Guy? The sideshow guy? The one that does all the videos. He was there walking around. Like we spent time talking to him and we're like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like he wants to see what the competition's doing. He's interested. He wants to see what's out there, but not
Yeah.
interested enough to have their booth again, which was just disappointing.
it is disappointing because that's one of the things that if I were to go to San Diego Comic-Con, that's one of the things I look forward to going.
Yeah.
That's one of the first booths I make a beeline to just because you
Yep.
want to see the new products and what they have in
course.
store.
Because they have
Uh,
such a variety that they carry, so that would be the place to go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's because it's expensive to have a booth there and obviously expensive to ship out their products
Yeah.
there, even though they live in there are companies in California.
Well,
So
it's also one thing too to be there in person and physically see the figure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they are Sideshow is a lot of money. That's a hefty investment to go down. Like I want this figure and this figure
For premium
get it all
format,
lined up,
sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's one thing to look at the figure in person though, because I was actually looking into that Darth Maul, like
Yep.
one head bust they had a while back for like
Yes.
$3,000 or whatever, and it had his hood and he's like veering off. But then I saw reviews online of people complaining about his eyes having this
Yes.
like thatch gradient to it,
Yep.
which made it look like plastic and fake. And then when I was at ICC, someone actually had the bus, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, no, I have the bus. It's the complaints over it is kind of like minuscule in my opinion. It's amazing in person. Like I
Yeah.
had that bus
Oh,
and I
yeah,
looked at it and I'm like, okay, it's cool, but if I turn off the lights, it's like that scary mall looking creature from what's that movie? You know what's that movie?
Goody?
It's not The Conjuring. The one before that with
Did you turn off the lights?
no, it's like you ever see that horror movie with it looks like
Annabelle?
not it's in that same it's in that same
Insidious.
Insidious, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insidious for 500. DJ.
No, but
Yeah.
I've seen people actually use paint and they fix up the eyes. They do like customize on it. It's completely
Yes.
But I was just making a reference to the point where seeing it in person sometimes can be the deciding factor, because there
Yeah.
might be something more.
I agree
more
with that.
important.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but it's pretty creepy. Oh, okay, that's not what I was trying to look at a picture of it. Oh, here. I think I found it, and I'll show you guys. It's just
You're talking about the demon from Insidious 1. Yeah, I know
Yes.
what you're talking about. And he's standing behind the grandma.
dude,
or whatever.
that's this creepy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But when you look at it,
That's so
it looks like Darth
funny.
Maul. It looks like Darth Maul a little bit. It's got the. You're like
Except for
Darth
the hair.
Maul.
Oh, through the tulips.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Red 5 is coming. Mr. Sean, are you looking to pick that up?
Oh yeah, that's a given. That's done. That's sold.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. You said.
What'd I
No
say?
more collecting. I'm taking a
Where's
break.
Jeff?
Oh,
Where's
I
Jeff?
have taken. I haven't bought anything in a while. Like
I think
I really
everybody's
haven't.
could have been that way.
no,
Kinda like
I've been
easing
really
out.
good. Like and
Yeah.
the stuff that I'm buying too. It's
Cute.
not
Guy
like
Guy
super
Clender.
expensive.
Right?
Guy Clender
Like,
is
No,
by the way the name of
buying
that sideshow
affordable
guy.
See,
things.
I knew I was kind of right.
Yeah. Where's
Yeah,
Jeff?
but-
You Jeff.
Oh, I know. Jeff will call me in a second and be like, "Dude, you
This
just cracked me
thing.
up." No, I talked to him this week. I explained my situation. I told him I'm buying this.
He's like, yeah. We get it. Yeah, so this is one of the the what's it called, the exclusives in the con.
Yep.
Speeder. Yeah, yeah.
The speeder, pretty freaking cool.
It is.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Are you, Janine? I know you live right there. Are you going to San Diego Comic Con?
Well, I got sent to another store, and there's actually
Oh.
2 store managers, me and him.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool because Alex is a big time collector.
Mm-hmm.
But Alex was also at that store a lot longer than me. So
Mhm.
Alex put in for time off during Comic-Con.
Oh no.
He goes to all the cons, like all of them. And I'm like, dude, can we like work? Because he put it in like this time last year and I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, can we discuss? So that, because like he's been to all the cons. I'm not even kidding you. D3 is next. He goes to everything. And I'm like, I need to have some time, So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I'll have that Friday off and we'll see what happens. But
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
gonna see.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys live right there. Hopefully you can
Right
make
there,
it.
like 19 minutes to get there from our house.
Wow.
Yep. So
I
maybe
do
we'll
wanna-
just go and like soak in the atmosphere.
No, you gotta
Hang
go
out
home.
with like the turtle vans.
Yeah, no, well, I'll pick your brain in a second, but I do
Mhm.
want to talk about this. This is really cool. I don't think we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
the
it's
Droideka.
cool.
Uh,
It's very cool.
Yeah, this is cool. Oh my gosh, like Sean, don't say anything. I almost want to get this. Sean, don't say anything.
Is it diecast or is it going to be like a
I don't see.
Grievous issue where he's falling apart?
I don't know. I
It's- I
don't
think it's
know. This is
plastic.
pretty cool. JT, what do you think
Right?
about this? Because I know you're a prequel fan.
Yeah, dude, that is awesome. That the paint on that is like perfect.
Right?
It
It
has that,
looks
it has
like
that
Yeah, yeah.
same torch effect look. Like if you get down to
Mhm.
like it looks like some like fire burned it or something. I can hear the noise. Like,
right.
Yes.
And how would
And-
you display it? Would you get 2 to have 1 in a ball and 1 standing?
see, that's the dangerous part about all this
Right?
because if I get 2, then I'm like, oh, well, they gotta fight 2 Jedi Masters. And
Right?
then you're going down the
Yeah.
list of all that.
Yeah, I know that spiral or that one spiral in terms of collecting.
Right?
But this is so cool.
It's
It
so
is so cool.
Ooh,
It-
B1 and the B2.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For a size
Dude.
perspective.
Yeah,
I
My only issue with it's the price.
Yes.
How much is it? How much is it, Sean?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
345 was it or something?
No, I don't
No?
think it was that high. Yeah,
thought it
I would have
was.
screamed. Yeah, it can't be that much. There's not even the reason I was frowning on the price was because there's no head sculpt, there's no
Yeah.
tailoring.
Yeah.
It's just molded plastic, and I get
It
it.
says-
It's a
it-
pretty good
and-
sized piece, but
Andrea says there's no die cast,
Maybe
which
it's
is
245.
yeah, that it's not.
But with also all of those, this is the posability is also strictly custom to this character because its arms fold in just like the movie, and then it comes down.
Yeah,
So
265 before tax and shipping.
265. Okay.
So throw another $40 on that, so it's like 305 for this.
So it wasn't
And-
far off.
Yeah,
Hold
that's
up there.
$300. Yeah,
Right? $300 right there.
too much. If it was like
Yeah.
230, okay, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
and its sensors
65,
don't glow at all. Its
Yeah.
sensors don't glow.
No,
no, nothing
it's just
glows.
molded
Nothing.
plastic for $305.
Or you could like its shield. They could have given like a plastic like shield
Right.
dome, and then it would have maybe justified. I mean, it's a little
No,
bit.
don't get
expensive.
me wrong, it's awesome.
It
The
is.
price
Yeah.
is just not awesome for
Yeah.
not having a head sculpt or to any type of tailoring and clothing. Like that goes a long way for Hot Toys.
Yeah, it
Is to
does.
sculpt, a good paint
Yep.
job, and just the clothing and to get everything
Yep.
to fit right. This is just kind of let's just kind of mold a bunch of plastic parts and put it together and charge $300.
Yeah.
You know how
It's definitely
intricate it is,
cool.
though. Like all the little tiny designs, mechanic wise.
Yeah. But it wouldn't fit in my collection, so I'm not, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
If it fits in your collection, you must have. That's great.
Yeah.
It's just not something
Yeah.
that works
Yeah.
with what
Understand
we've got.
Understand that.
If it was PJ collecting years ago, yes, maybe. But I gotta be really picky in terms of Hot Toys, and
You will buy a Droideka.
yeah.
Right?
By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
by the way, JT, I know you like Starkiller. Did you see that Starkiller hot toy?
Yes. So
Yeah.
around the time that we were actually going over a lot of the details, because even with how much I've seen the Lord Starkiller outfit, growing up and playing with him countless hours, on screen,
Yeah.
there is some stuff that we found last minute. They were like, I can't believe this. I can't believe I would have missed something like this.
Right.
One of the big ones was on the back of his lower kilt piece. You see this like gray pattern. In the game, it's not gray like that. It's more of like a burned in etch effect. But since it's one of the older games and you're moving the character around, it's something you would completely miss.
Interesting.
But like the sideshow figure coming out at around the same time as we're starting to go through all the details, it's like the clouds are aligning. It's
Wow,
perfect.
that's cool.
But yeah, they got all the lightsabers on him correct. They have Vader's, Kasdan's, his original Graflex, Maul's. Yeah, they did it all on that, and the
It's
quality, like his lower abdomen piece too. You can see it's got like this like stingray texture.
Yeah.
In the game, it's flat leather, but that's cool that they added that little extra bit of like dynamicness to the figure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Now-
I wouldn't buy it for me, but I think it's one of the best ones they've done in a while.
This is a sweatier nitpick, but there's two reasons, or two things that are on this character that probably shouldn't be. Is one, he has two lightsabers, which that only happens in the second game. But but it's a figure. I know he probably has different accessories and stuff like that. But for that skin, one lightsaber. The second one is got on the forehead of his helmet. He has this like damage mark that looks like an X.
Yeah.
That's not that. There's a lot of shots in the game that are inconsistent when it comes to the damage marks, but there are some pretty big ones that are like there all the way through. That like X looking pattern. This is just me ripping into it, right?
So
because I'm trying to find things I don't like about it because it's so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I do want to talk about one last thing before we wrap things up here. It's that time of the year, Janine, and you know what I'm talking about. It's
my birthday, right?
Yeah. When is your birthday? You don't mind me asking.
July 30th.
Oh shoot! Well, you know who should be preparing for that.
Joe already hooked it up. Did you see our last episode?
No, I missed. I have to catch the replay.
Yeah, so he took a sideshow Grogu, cut it up, and made it posable. You know how everybody talks about doing that?
Yeah.
We challenged him to see what he could do in 1 hour. He did it in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And
Joel
then when he was
amazing.
done, he said, Janine, I'm sending this to you for your birthday, which was like, are you kidding?
Damn. Wait a minute. I got a birthday coming up. Joel, think about me.
Joel's awesome, man.
It's just amazing.
Well,
oh my gosh,
this is coming up.
The 13th.
Yes, so it's you know.
All right, so
I know this. Yeah.
Let's not focus on the head sculpts, on the ornaments in the trash compactor. Let's just accept them for what they are.
No.
Look at
So
that?
yeah, so
they're bad.
Yeah, no, Hallmark is not. Yeah, it's just so that we can decorate your Christmas tree and stuff. So yeah. It's that time of year. It's July. These ornaments are coming. So if you're looking to pick these up, you know, they're up for pre-orders. Or going to be up for pre-order soon.
Yes.
And you can see this is pretty cool here. This is a
stocking holder.
Yep, stocking holder, and it's
Can you zoom in on that?
Oh no, yeah. I think I can.
But they have more light and sound ones this year that go with the power cord. So I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work.
That's cool.
Because all of our power cords are taken up. And I don't know.
That is awesome.
JT, my tree's been up for 4 years.
Yeah. I
It
wish
is
they-
100%
That's-
Star Wars.
that's
I
just
am
like
55 years old.
Dope.
I can do what I want.
Just like
Yeah.
Carrie
Look at the
Fisher, she leaves her
Vader.
Christmas tree up all year round.
Exactly.
in her house.
But like the coolest ornament, I think, is that Vader, that carded Vader. Did you see that one, PJ?
Yeah, I'm trying to play
That
the
one's
s-
so cool.
I'm trying to play the sound for this thing, but it won't
Oh
let me.
man,
Dude,
the
those
lights are so cool on
Transformers
that.
are sick.
Right?
Yeah, look at that.
Right?
Oh my god.
Dude, that is
Those are for
sick.
your mantle. Like, how
Hold on, let me see.
badass.
Let me see if I could like figure out how
There's
to
so
play
many
the
cool
mu-
ones.
I would
Yeah.
almost want more trench run looking pieces so you can make your entire.
Exactly. You have a big family.
Okay, I figured it out. Here, hopefully I don't get.
They're really
Uh,
cool ones. I have the Han and Carbonate one over there.
Look at that,
I like the
Dude,
stockings too.
Sick.
dude. Can you hear
This is
it?
Red 5. I'm going in.
Oh, that's dope.
This is Gold Leader. We're starting our attack run. I'm on the leader.
Use the force, Luke. Let go.
They're
The force is
awesome.
I gotta have that.
They are awesome.
I don't have any of the Hallmark ones. 'cause
Dude,
I
you
really,
got it.
I really wanted the Han and Carbonite one,
Yeah.
but man, they
Yes.
stepped their game up. That's
Yes.
awesome.
It's just cool because, like, you know, you press a little lightsaber, and since we have all the ornaments from like the first set, they do an entire scene. I mean, it just goes
Yes,
on for like 10
me too.
minutes. It's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah. I this is the Ghost. Let me share this one too. This is the Rebels. It's not playing. Play.
I gotta look that. That's
They're so
Uh,
cool.
Yeah. So this, well, anyway, another ornament that plays like,
Yep.
sound and music. If I could get this going, I don't know why. Let me see if I could pull it up again.
Hey, if you can't get the sounds, we can all just like recreate what the sounds.
I know, right?
Well, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's not letting me. It's not letting. But yeah, so they seem to be a lot more this year in terms
Yeah.
of like. So this is the Ghost that you could another ornament that they're putting out.
That's interesting that Rebels is still getting some love.
Yes.
Yeah.
They always
I-
include them, which is cool.
And then you got Qui-Gon now. What else? You
Yep.
got well, this one
Sabine.
has sound. This is Sean's favorite.
Ah,
This one also makes some
I
sound.
don't-
Hey, it's
I don't
better
think
than
I'll
Jar
bother.
Jar.
I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that. But I don't think I'll bother with this one.
I don't
I
know. I'm a
definitely
s-
want trash compactor and then the carded Vader one.
Yes. Oh, well, how
the
about
carded Vader one is
the trench run?
killer.
No.
maybe.
Damn, those are
Right there.
expensive too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're so good.
Oh, Maul. I forgot about that one.
So that's one.
So
that
there
one's
it
an
is.
ornament, or is that a mantle?
This
Another
one. This
So
one
this
is an ornament.
an ornament that attaches with the cord. So you have to buy the power cord, which I guess I need to look at our Death Star and see if there's another.
There's no
plug
video on this
in.
one.
So that trash compactor has motion too. Does it like close
You
in?
gotta
on
watch
them?
the video.
Yeah. So
What?
yeah, there's no there's no video. So sound and motion. Meaning when they say motion, like I think it
The
senses you,
walls are
right?
gonna have to close in, right?
Oh, maybe
Right.
the claws has to close in. Damn, there's no video.
That would be. Oh, what a rip!
I know. Why didn't they have
Dude,
videos
that's
on that?
cool. I'm
I'm gonna
stoked
go
on
to
that
the mall
first run,
tomorrow.
though.
No, I won't go tomorrow. I'll go to the mall on like Friday or Saturday. Maybe I can get Joey Padawan to come with me, and we'll look at the preview because I know some of them are out, and like the real preview happens on the 13th, and that's when like the more expensive ones come out.
Yeah.
But you know, that's when you can actually buy them.
Here's a stocking.
Love them. $24.99. You saw how big it was. I work for Hobby Lobby. This is a good price, in my opinion.
Sean, JT, anyone picking some of these cool ornaments up?
Dude, I'm actually looking on my own little
Right?
web page here at the.
Vader
That's
one.
Oh
the
my
one.
goodness.
Vader one.
Dude, they're sick.
I
Yeah.
didn't know something like those trench run sets would even exist. I wonder
Right?
how heavy those are though. If they're gonna be like mantle, like they gotta
Yeah,
hold
it's
the
gonna
weight
be
of the
pretty
stocking.
heavy.
It's got stuff in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
those aren't going to be Christmas. That's going to be in the room somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the office area on the bookshelf.
This one
Like, those-
isn't
those
that
are dope.
heavy.
Those are
Wait, let me see.
nice.
Which one? You have
Oh,
one?
so I have all those guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
know, I
one's
never had
awesome.
to turn it on. Isn't it terrible?
That
Yeah.
one's so cool.
God,
We only know this
I
because
forget where the button
when we
is.
had Scott on the show, he mentioned that you guys leave your Christmas tree up all
We
year
do.
long.
I have
That's
no
pretty-
idea. Oh, right here. Maybe. I think I have batteries to replace.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but it's awesome.
Yeah. So again, if you guys are avid Hallmark collectors like me
Yes.
and Janine, it's that time of the year.
It is. It's always around Scott's birthday, which is really exciting. And then again in October, that's when the rest will come out. I know
Mhm.
there's a Cad Bane that's coming out, and you can't even put it on your wish list because it's so limited.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, they have it on display in the store because you never know, is it a little mini one or is it a regular size one? So I will
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Hallmark is that they have really cool things, especially like if you have
They
an
do.
office and you want to
Yep.
like decorate your office. It comes with like this sculpted mug.
Yes.
You got flip flops, and I have this one, the globe.
That's badass too.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at
that
this.
is.
Oh, Darth Vader type
Ooh.
with light.
Phone fans.
Get out of here.
Does
Okay.
that have a video? I wonder.
I wonder. No video. Oh my gosh. JT, I need this.
Oh wow! So it
Does it
I do it
charge
right
your
now.
phone too, or is it just hold it?
Yeah, I think you should charge it too with light. I'm sure it charge. It has to. I would
Dang, that's cool.
Because I
projects
got an
light.
iPhone. I have the induction thing. Like you could just rest it on one of those charging surfaces. So
Yeah,
one of those.
I have one of those too. I have the Millennium Falcon one.
Me too. I have that in the Mando one.
What am I doing? What am I
What's
doing,
that
guys?
Ahsoka one?
Which one? Up here? Oh,
What
that's
is that?
just a birthday invitation.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of cool things. So look at that. I got the lightsaber pizza cutter.
Great.
My wife bought me some cool things.
Oh, there's the Death Star. So I think you need the Death Star. I don't know for a fact
Right?
to
I have
make
that one.
everything work because you got to attach it with the power cord, or unless
I
you
have
just
that.
need the power cord.
See, I'm also a huge Lord of the Rings fan too. So
Yep.
if one thing has to be at the top of the tree, I would probably get what I've seen someone have online. They have the Eye of Sauron.
Oh,
That's so
wow.
cool.
Barad-dûr.
Look at that. And look at this. Look at all this, like mugs.
The
You got
frame's
like
cool.
a gift set. It's a lot of cool. I have this one. The spatula.
To you?
Yeah. I got it for Father's Day. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
So they're telling you better start cooking.
I know. Basically, it's like hint. Can you cook?
Strong hints.
Yeah.
And cool. Say Falcon Millennium accessory.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so a lot of cool things from Hallmark, to add to not only your collection,
Black
but
has cool things nowadays too.
yeah. So pretty cool. All right. I think that's basically it. I just want to say thank you to JT.
Did you get any
JT
bounty
Lovecraft.
pickups?
Oh, we're gonna talk bounty pickups?
I actually got a couple for this.
Okay,
week.
let's
think I have
actually
to
let's
see.
talk about that now, real quick.
I know. I wanted
wait.
to show this off because Scott got it for me.
Oh,
Scott, not
Scott-
your Scott.
Scott Sharp.
Scott Sharp. Yeah.
Okay.
So, got the old.
Get out of here. You
Oh,
got it.
Skyhopper.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I told him I really wanted it, so he found it. It was
It's
funny
awesome.
because he sent me like a care package today. I had this in there and some bunch of
That's so
fishing
cool.
stuff. And, yeah.
Is that
So
the
I got that.
T16?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's from Disney.
$40,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, and I think he's got that season pass holder, so he got it for cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I got that today, and then I ended up finally getting this. So I had this before it was Felicity Jones autograph, and then Everest Autographs was doing a signing of Diego Luna. So I sent this in so I could have both of them on one, and it was authenticated by Beckett. So
Oh,
I just
dude,
got
that's
that
sick.
in.
I love the
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah,
Andor's
dude, I
one.
love the picture. Yeah, it's super
That's
cool.
awesome.
That reminds me of like Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back. Right?
Yeah, it's great, and that movie's just amazing. It's like it's phenomenal.
Oh wow.
That's
That's it.
so cool.
But that's it. Yeah. I just want to show.
Yeah,
I really want to
yeah,
show that
sure.
Skyhopper.
Sean, earlier you said when I was having my mic troubles, and you were like, "I'm actually one of the few people that are excited for Andor season 2." I know that's kind of a somewhat unpopular opinion. Not a crazy ton of people vibe with the show. I
don't know.
personally loved it.
Yeah, right.
I don't think there's a bigger fan than my friend Nick in London, though.
Oh, really?
They did a lot of the homecoming actors that were in the show, a lot of the extras and stuff. He goes to his work, and one of his coworkers' son is Broom Boy from the sequels.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
really?
it's like this dude's got like the right area when it comes to that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Mhm.
But when
Yeah.
we were in Celebration, I was going up with him to the Andy Circus, one way out. And then we went to the O2 Lounge after Celebration, which was like this kind of privatized party event where some Andor actors went to there but didn't go to Celebration. So he got some like ins on
That's
some
awesome.
secret autographs and stuff. And he actually took us to the film shots that they used for Andor to show Coruscant in London.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
really?
We saw where they used the ISB headquarters, that big like bridge,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they digitized the big like pyramid in. We went to Canary Wharf where they did the Rogue One Imperial base run through with all the troopers are going
Oh,
through there.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Felicity Jones is disguised as the gunner, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then all the other shots, we were like recreating the scenes. Were like I forget her name from the show, but the she's like walking through Coruscant, and she's like walking like she's being watched or something. She's got like the red kind of like jacket on. She's going
Was
down
it
the
Mon
ramp and
Mothma?
everything. No, not Mon Mothma. She's like someone in the show that is, I forget her name, but she's like withholding information
Mhm.
to pass on to Luthen, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. I know.
There's a shot where she's meeting up with the other chick in Coruscant, where it's like the
Yeah.
behind the head camera view.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we recreated a bunch of those shots. I mean,
Oh,
we had
cool.
no idea that Andor was even filmed in London for the Coruscant shots,
Right.
but he knew exactly where every single spot. He's like, "Come
He's
on, guys,
hardcore.
quick!" There's like a team of 8 of us. He's like, "Come on, guys, quick! We gotta go up and we gotta get to the next one before more people show up. We want to get just an image of us in there." So yeah, that was
Right.
That's cool.
That's
a cool
awesome, man.
experience. To visit
That's
Star
a-
Wars in real life. Yeah,
I know most of it's shot in London for some reason.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why can't? No, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
That
Um,
is.
all right. Well, Sean, congrats on your bounty pickups. I'll tell you,
It's
Mike.
been a while.
Nothing.
It's been
Great.
a long
It's been-
while since I've had anything to kind of show.
I
Yeah.
don't think I have anything this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. JT, anything in terms of
What do
bounty
I have?
pickups?
Besides just like recent comic book issues, I guess I actually have to go back to my local shop and get the rest of these on the ongoing Vader series.
Nice.
I'm not liking what they're doing with Vader. They're making him look like a pansy.
Oh
Oh.
God, that's why I didn't. Yeah, I'm not reading that.
Yeah,
One.
the 2020 series is kind of takes me out of it a little bit, but I'm already like 40 something issues deep, so I can't just stop.
Wow.
now.
Yeah,
gotta,
you got
Yeah.
gotta get that value, you know.
Well, in terms of comic books, the best one was Charles Soule, the second run of Vader.
Imperial Machine, yeah, it had a lot of good juicy stuff. That actually had I have a Lord Momin helmet in my closet.
Oh wow.
And that's from the Charles Soule, but
Yeah.
no. Besides that, no recent pickups.
Pickup.
Fun.
Okay. Cool. Well. Congrats, Sean. That's an awesome pickup, man.
Hey, any
Scott,
pickup's an awesome one. It's been bone
I
dry
know.
for a
We've
couple
been
of
really
months.
good.
Like,
We've been really
that's what I've
good.
said. I haven't been spending
here-
a lot. You know.
Here's the
but-
thing: is that like we don't get anything, and then like 2 months in a row we'll like get like everything. It's
right.
always-
Well, that's how it is with the collecting. Just in general, they have nothing out that I want, and then they hit everything, and I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
like that's like $4,000 worth of stuff that I need to have now.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I do have like 4 things on payment plan though. I do like the payment plans, like, you know, because sometimes if I've got the money, yeah, I'll buy it right out. But it's like,
Right.
if the thing's not going to be released for like the beginning of the year, I'm like, why am I
Exactly.
going to
Why
pay for
tie
it
up the
now?
money?
Why
Yes.
give you all my money? I'm like, I can pay
Well, and that's when
$20
it's
Yeah.
$50 at a month.
It's like
Yep.
nothing because we're on payment plan, and all of a sudden it like hits you all at once. It's like, oh
Yes.
shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
But that's how I felt about the cantina. I'm like, you back it now and you're gonna wait until what, September 2026 or something, probably.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Is it
received my
that
ghost.
long?
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
don't
long.
know.
It's about a
Holy
year.
They
mackerel.
say they're
I-
gonna start as soon as it funds, but
2026 or 2025?
2026 most likely because it's
What?
yeah
Oh, I couldn't.
I still
know.
haven't received
couldn't
my
wait.
right.
I still haven't received my my ghost yet, so and I ordered
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
See, I also haven't been buying a whole lot of new stuff anyways, too, because I'm like saving up for like Japan and
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I bet.
actually the end of this month on the 20th, I'm going to Finland because I'm a best man in a wedding.
Oh, nice.
man.
So I got a lot of little expenses that are adding
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I've got,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
cosplays and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Like that, so
Yeah. Do want to
Dang.
mention this last thing before we log off for tonight. I know
Oh,
Hugh G
yeah,
was
this is
mentioning is
right.
about the Dylan Bonner of Padme. So this is what he was talking about. Pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Wow.
the dress and everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
everything looks so soft. And
I
It
know.
is.
It's so frilly.
It is.
All right, guys. I just want to say thank you to JT Lovecraft and Janine.
Yeah, we
for
finally
hopping on
got
this-
this.
you guys on, man. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Finally. Mhm.
Yes, like I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, please check out their respected social media network platforms. You could catch Janine every Sunday night, 9 p.m.
for
Eastern time on Rogue 5 Cantina, and
Mhm.
also please check out JT Lovecraft's Instagram. Amazing lightsaber skills. You won't be disappointed.
Do that right now.
Yes. And yeah, thank you guys for checking us out tonight. Hope you guys have a great May the 4th week. Or May the 4th. It's July. July 4th
Hey,
weekend.
July. It's
I
all
know,
Cocaine's
like,
a hell of
I'm
a
anything
drug.
4th, I'm like May the 4th with you. Look how big of a Star Wars fan I am.
exactly.
Happy 4th of July weekend to you guys.
Yes,
Sean.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Another one in the books.
Another one of the books, man.
That's it.
We'll be back next Wednesday for some more Sitcast. I'm not going to
Awesome.
play that scene, Sean. I know you're still like
Come
so.
on. Keep it
No.
real.
Nah, keep it real. Yeah, here we go. Son of a. Okay. You guys always and forever. Take care of it.
Peace.
Mhm.